Dow's up 112 points, and how about them Rangers choking and gagging and puking? Rangers
into South Florida Sports Radio.
560 WQAM, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
Don't see any emails from all them Ranger fans with a big mouth. Rangers.
Give them time.
Bye-bye, Rangers, and bye-bye, Devils.
560 WQAM.
And the Marlins won a game. Aren't you excited?
To talk to
the Marlins.
Oh, you know it.
They won a game.
560 in Dade and Broward.
I mean, what's more important, the swine flu or the Marlins?
Nothing.
877-785-NEIL.
More important.
Or
That's correct.
560 on your AT&T.
Took you a long time to catch on. I think maybe now you're a little bit safer than you were a moment ago.
By Neil, his guests or his callers
Which
do
means
not
you still
represent
here?
those of WQAM management,
One day at a
staff,
time.
or sponsors. Now, the Neil Rogers Show on 560 WQAM.
Well, all right, sports fans.
Absolutely.
I will always love.
Well, good for you, honey. Beat that bitch up again. 10:01 at 560 WQAM. Happy Wednesday to you. I can actually talk today.
All right.
Don't I sound like me today?
Yeah, and you look better, too.
No pink eye.
No pinko?
He's got the Schweinhund flu. We know it. I'll guarantee you that there were people speculating that. Because I've been, had this sinus infection for about a week and a half.
Yeah.
Coughing and gagging and puking and phlegming. See, if there was a God, there would be no phlegm. There would be no mucus. Wouldn't that be a breath of fresh air?
Oh, no pun intended.
Because that mucus is what gets into your sinus passages and gets you all congested and you can't breathe and causes just incredible discomfort.
Right.
Gets into your throat and you can't talk like I've had for the last couple of days.
If you swallow mucus, you pucus.
Pinkus? I wonder how Pinky Lee is doing up there in heaven. Pinky Lee.
Who?
And you know who else is dead? Red Buttons. Ho, ho, ho. Now, there's a guy that was never funny for a minute. For a second.
I never noticed.
You ever see Red Buttons?
I've seen him, but...
Jewish comedian, red hair.
Jewish comedian? You're kidding.
When you're Jewish, you have to have a sense of humor. They haven't found that out in Sunrise Lakes yet, but nevertheless. No, they haven't. So the Rangers take it up the butt last night, lose 2-1 to the Capitals, and they're done. They're all done. I don't see any emails on it. Rangers, Rangers. That would be a good poll to take sometime. What sports team have you grown to hate because of their fans?
Huh.
And, of course, any New York team would have to be one of the categories on that poll. Any New York team.
UM.
Rangers. Now, here's an interesting story. I know that's unusual for us.
Yeah.
By the way, the ratings tomorrow, the spring book, the winter book. Which book is it, the winter book?
Right.
There is no spring book, is there? Let's see. February, January, February, April, May, June. Yeah, there is. Right?
Right.
They don't switch to the other unmentionable thing until July officially? I don't know.
Officially.
Don't let me mention Joe Bell today. I just get too angry when I think about him or I mention his name. Don't let me even go there.
Okay.
What's the use?
Right.
Do you follow what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Life is too short to tear your kishkis out, getting all bent out of shape about things like that. Woman falls off Wolfgang Puck's toilet and sues. This is from TMZ.com. He says, I think I speak for the entire world when I say that when you step into a public toilet, you expect the stall door to lock, and if it doesn't, it is at best an unpleasant experience. A woman is now suing Wolfgang Puck's Spago restaurant, claiming she fell off a ladies' room commode while trying to balance on the potty and keep the door closed, according to TMZ.com. In a lawsuit filed in L.A., Marjorie Linden says the bathroom floor was covered in pools of urine and feces. Oh, pleasant. And the only usable toilet didn't have a latch on the door. The floor was covered in pools of urine and feces. Sounds like a pleasant environment to me.
Wow.
Let's have lunch. Linden alleges that she was trying to keep the door closed when another woman yanked at the door, hurtling her to the floor and causing serious injury to her head, knee, and head. Her head, knee, and head. 2 heads are better than 1. Spago reps tell TMZ, in our 27 years of business, we've never had an issue close to this. That portion of the claim is totally without merit. And what portion is that? I don't know. They don't say. That's from Cliff and Kendall. Thanks, Cliff. He's one of our useful emailers. We have a few of those. Brandon, Cliff, Boz, Florida. Anybody else?
I don't know.
We have a few. Oh, here's Mike Johnson. There's one. He says, it gives me great excitement to see not one, but both New York, Jersey area teams choke it away yesterday. Yeah, the Devils blew it in the last 2 minutes. They had a 1-goal lead, and then Carolina tied it, and they won it with seconds left. Nothing could be finer than to win in Carolina. How about my buddy Ray Whitney? Nice going, Razor. Not sure if you watched either game, but to see Carolina come from 1 goal down in the last 3 minutes to score 2 in regulation gave me great excitement, says Mike. And then he says, at the end, all right. All right. Amen, Mike. Although the Devils, it's kind of hard to hate the Devils because, I don't know, New Jersey. New Jersey is just kind of like something we try to avoid recognizing exists. And the governor of Texas, man, that right-wing D-bag, he wants help from the federal government. He wants to secede, but before he secedes, he wants the help for the swine flu outbreak.
It's just like in the early days of Texas. We're not part of America. Oh, the Mexicans are coming. Yeah, we want to be part of America.
Yeah, that's right. And now the same thing. They want us to save them from the Mexicans.
Uh-huh.
But we didn't tell them to, we didn't tell them to all move in there right next to Mexico.
Right.
Texas, my ass. So anyway, we got the first death, 23-month-old kid, dead in the U.S. from Mexico, no less. Wasn't the kid from Mexico?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I wasn't following it, no. But, yeah, 23-month-old kid. Got that part.
Well, I'll be damned. A 23-month-old child who died in Texas, but I'm sure I read that he was from Mexico.
I didn't hear that.
And now they found, they have found the first, what do they call it? Patient 0.
Right.
5-year-old Edgar Hernandez, who survived the earliest documented case of swine flu, an outbreak that officials say has now spread across 4 continents. So what are they going to do? Execute this kid or what?
I don't know.
La Gloria, Mexico. Tucked away in this small mountain village off a dusty road flanked by pig farms is where the earliest case of swine flu was confirmed. The child is known as Patient 0 by his doctors, 5-year-old Edgar Hernandez. His family lives in the population 3,000 village of La Gloria in the state of Veracruz, where a flu outbreak was reported April 2. State officials arrived and took samples from dozens of people. Lab tests confirmed that Edgar was the only patient in Veracruz to test positive for the swine flu virus. The others had contracted a common flu. Health officials had returned to Edgar's sample only after cases of the new flu strain were spotted around the country. He was it.
Mm-hmm.
Edgar has managed to bounce back from his symptoms and playfully credits ice cream for helping him feel better. How do you like that? I bet you're not going to hear that from Dr. Sanjay Gupta or all these other experts on TV. They're getting everybody all whipped up. Ice cream. You scream, I scream. Jimmy Syphilis screams, he says. He's a screamer. His mother blamed the virus on a huge pig farm in the neighborhood. Officials have conducted tests at the farm owned by a U.S. company, Smithfield Foods, and those tests came back negative. Meanwhile, Mexican health officials suspect the swine flu outbreak has caused more than 159 deaths and roughly 2,500 illnesses in Mexico. And if you're not panicky now, here we go, the first swine flu death.
If you need to cough into a tissue and throw it out.
Yeah, cough into a tissue.
If you don't have a tissue, you can cough into the corner of your elbow.
Corner of your elbow?
And we should keep our environments clean, washing off hand.
How do you cough into the corner of your elbow?
Like this. See?
This is a doctor? Ask me a doctor. He's director of Houston EMS. Cough into the corner of your elbow?
By the Centers for Disease.
That's like saying cough into your...
Rectum.
I mean, what are we talking about here? Have to do some kind of like acrobatics to protect yourself?
For everyone to know that while the death occurred here in Houston, this unfortunate child was not a native Houstonian. This child is a resident of Mexico.
See, I told you. What I tell you, I'm on top of this crap.
Yes, you are.
I ain't no Jimmy Syphilitic.
It was there in Brownsville where the child first became ill, was taken to a hospital on April the 13th and was admitted to the hospital in Brownsville. The patient became quite ill rather rapidly and was transferred the next day to a hospital here in Houston. And as you know, unfortunately, in spite of the best efforts, the child succumbed to the illness, and the CDC provided us laboratory confirmation, which they announced this morning, that the child was in fact infected with the swine flu virus.
The swine flu. This guy is incoherent. Cough into your elbow. What do you say? Cough into the what of your elbow? The corner of your elbow?
The corner of your elbow, right.
Well, what is the corner of your elbow? What corner is that?
I guess the inside part
University
of your elbow.
and Sunrise?
I'm just guessing.
Yeah. I think it's Asbury Road and 441. Look out. Look out now.
You can't get your mouth into the crook of your arm there?
What are you talking about?
I can't. Take your one hand and take your right hand and put it on your left shoulder.
Can you imagine people looking at you if you started doing something like that in public? Look, well, I got a cough, so I'm going to cough into the corner of my elbow.
Yeah, I'd rather see you doing that than coughing like in my face.
Well, nobody coughs into somebody else's face unless they're lewd and crude.
What do you mean nobody does? You've been out of town too long. Yeah, you've been out of South Florida too long. You forget.
No. I've been at Woodbine.
Oh.
Believe me, you talk about crude.
They get right up in your face down here.
All those Ruskies and those Chinaman and those Punjabi. Oh, my God. And the Tamil, what do they call them? The Sri Lankans. They've had a very important part of downtown Toronto tied up for 3 days now demonstrating. This has been going on for like 3 months now. They kicked them out of Ottawa, so they came back here because the local authorities here just, they have a right to protest and tie up traffic and screw up one of the major arteries, University Avenue, in the whole city. Well, what is the Canadian government going to do about Sri Lanka? Is Canada well known? I mean, I know that there are a lot of Canadian soldiers, if not in Afghanistan. They're part of NATO over there. But other than that, is Canada known for schlepping around the world and getting involved in domestic disputes?
Maybe they want them to start.
Sri Lankans. Oh, my God. Nevertheless, this is the world in which we live. It's just a mess. I told you the world is a crazy place. I told you that a long time ago, and people looked at me and they went, "Oh, you're so negative, so cynical, Neil." Yeah.
I want to bang you in the butt, honey.
A census taker once tried to test me. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
Sounds disgusting to me. I'm sucking on a Hall's menthol lipness. No, it's not. Good. It's a Ricola. Ricola. I don't see those spots anymore, do you?
No, not for a long time.
But they do stick in your mind, though.
Yes, they do.
Ricola. Is that because it's Swiss or something, isn't it? Schweiz?
That's what I understand.
Yeah, des Suisse. From Switzerland. Never been to Switzerland. I hear it's pretty interesting.
Give it a shot.
Do you know anybody who speaks Swiss?
I don't think there is a language.
No. Well, no, because they're surrounded by Germany and France and all of these other joints. So they speak. I don't know what they speak. Nor do I care. Bugsy says, Bugsy's a moron. He says, "Come on already. The world's media, led by the U.S., has decided swine flu is a colossal story that's more important than any other news. It wasn't more important than Arlen Specter going back to being a Democrat yesterday. I wonder what Jimmy Syphilitic thinks about that. That the Republican Party is dying on the vine. Dying. People are abandoning it like the Titanic. And I wonder what Jimmy and all his right-wing... Well, they're just ignoring it. Well, that's not an important story. It's not like Mitch McConnell says. That's not a national story. That's a Pennsylvania story. And yeah, right. Keep rationalizing it, okay? It's springtime, says Bugsy, and several thousand people around the world have the flu. Some children and elderly will die. This happens every year around this time. This is news, ? Be afraid. Be very afraid. Yeah, everything is a pinko commie plot. You notice that? All these...
Oh, yeah.
Like that lunatic that... what was his name? Dana?
I don't know.
Everything is a commie pinko. The Bilderbergers and the Trilaterals and the Illuminati. Oh, my God. I thought those people have vanished.
Nope.
Long ago.
Nope.
With Shirley Spellerberg. Get some help, Bugsy, before it's too late. Let's see. Oh, like this is news. Just to keep you updated with the news in Florida, we'll now have Jesus Christ license plates, which we talked about at length yesterday. But thank you so much for shocking news. All these people that send me, like Norma Kent yesterday sends me that story about the Supreme Court and the FCC and about the fleeting expletives and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Sends me that yesterday afternoon. Says, if you think the Beasleys are going to, let up on language now, you're no chance now. I don't think they're going to do anything right. Why? I mean, there's a first time for everything, but I just don't anticipate this in my lifetime. Do you?
No.
And the one thing about them, they may not be good, but at least they're consistent. So just keep sending me stories about, President Lincoln's got a bad headache and George Washington chopped down the cherry tree and all this other breaking news. Have you noticed on most of the talking head channels, that thing almost never goes away. Breaking news. And even on the local news, like in the middle, there'll be the banner comes on. Oh, we have breaking news from Gloria Pupik in our newsroom.
That's newsier.
Yeah. Where did you get that ABC News sounder? Do I have it?
Probably Chicken Neck. You might.
Is it under ABC?
I have 4 news sounders. News sounder 1, news sounder 2. I don't know.
I don't have those. Well, you better
for a long time.
Copy that and send that off to me immediately, if not sooner.
You probably have them on a disc in there that you never even looked at.
I do now.
Because I get all this stuff from him, Chicken Neck.
He never sent me those.
All right, well, we'll send them to you.
Can I finish? Go ahead.
Go ahead.
He never sent me those Coke spots by the Fortunes. It's the real thing. I'm not talking about I'd like to teach the world. Now, he sent me that.
Yeah.
He had sent me the other one a long time ago, and I lost it. I mean, I dug through 80 million discs. I can't find it. I mean, I'm sure it's here in this room somewhere, I've got boxes and boxes of discs packed in the closet. And the good thing is I had that spare old used drum, because my new drum is coming tomorrow for my HP 48, whatever that, not HP, Brother
right.
MFC 4800.
Right.
An archaic and outdated all-in-one, but they're good. I like them. It's like the one I got for you down there.
Right.
That you like
paid
it?
For. Yeah, I like it.
The pink one?
Maybe I do.
Did you say the pink one?
No, that you paid for.
Oh, that I paid for? Yeah, of course. I paid for a lot of stuff in that studio. Not anymore. Not anymore. I'm going to start giving back what I'm getting from them. What they give to me, I'll give it right back. Treat me well, I'll do the best I can for you. Treat me like crap, to you. I think that's a good philosophy in life.
Sure.
If people treat you well, be nice to them. Treat them well. If people treat you like crap, give them it right back. That's right. Good old raspberry. Fat Man After Dark, who's back, says, what a disgusting story I saw today. Police raid Ohio bar, find 14-year-old topless dancer. Akron, Ohio. That must be a horrible place. Isn't that the rubber capital, Akron, Ohio?
I don't know.
Isn't that where they make rubbers? Police say a 14-year-old girl was dancing topless at an Akron strip club when they raided the bar and arrested 4 exotic dancers. The girl's been placed in protective custody. Akron police vice officers served a search warrant Friday night at the Playhouse Bar. The bar's owner and manager were charged with illegal use of a minor in a nudity performance and child endangering 14-year-old girl.
Nice.
Police Lieutenant Rick Edwards said the officers saw some dancers have contact with customers, but not the 14-year-old. He says the club is not licensed as a sexually oriented business. The girl's been placed with Summit County Children's Services. It's just, this is the world in which we live. It's a sick, 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 sick world. I don't want to be cynical. I don't want to be negative. People are all depressed with the economy and with the swine flu and all these negative things. We just want to give you a little chuckle every now and then. Like that. Like Jimmy Syphilis, I'm sure, must do. So who was on this morning over there across the street?
I don't know.
I guarantee it was the program director, Steve White. I looked on their website again this morning in anticipation of some breaking news about their new morning show on 790. They don't have one. I mean, if they do have one, they're not telling the world. And remember we got that bogus information that George Sedano was going to be doing mornings starting this Monday 2 days ago? Didn't happen. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't know. I don't really care, but nevertheless. Maybe Mifo's going over there. What do you think?
Maybe.
Mifo and Meshad the Bendigo. How does that go?
Shadrach.
Shadrach and what is Shadrach?
Shadrach.
How about Chad Stewart and Jeremy Clyde?
Meshach.
And a summer song. Meshach the Bendigo. Abednego.
Abednego.
That's what I said. A bed to go.
Yeah.
I'll have a bed to go and 2 cheeseburgers and a smoothie. A bed to go. Oh my God. Yeah, Jesus Christ license plates in Florida, and Charlotte Chris thinks, oh, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. You farbissina fag phony, Charlie. You're so full of crap. But they like him, you know. He's wildly popular. Oh, here's more Twitter crap from Mr. Radio, the fake Larry King. Just deleted it. Didn't even look at it. Not interested. Don't you understand? I'm not a radio groupie. I'm not interested in Ethan Skolnick says this and this one says, who cares? Yentas, man. Yentas. Mr. Radio and all these other fake, this one and that one, fake Larry King, ought to open up a business called Rent-A-Yenta. Johnny says, this is Johnny Quest. While they're complaining about Joe Bell, you should be grateful for having a job where you can work part-time from home and make gobs and gobs of money. A wise man once said, if my boss wants me to sing God Bless America wearing panties and a G-string, I'll do it. Yeah, look what they did to him, by the way. Neil, you need to have the same philosophy. Millions of people are unemployed. Be grateful you have a job and leave Joe alone. Leave Joe alone! By the way, I'm sure Paco would love to see you singing a song wearing panties and pasties and a G-string. I doubt it. He'd run out of here like a banshee. He'd get on the first bus to Mexico and start inhaling real deeply.
I doubt that.
No, he would not. I don't think now's a good time to be planning any trips to Mexico.
No.
You remember the SARS thing came from China.
Right.
And, of course, they brought it here because we got 400,000 Chinaman in Toronto. They brought it they brought it over the sea. Like Johnny and Joe, over the mountain and across the sea. Remember that song on a blue label?
No.
I forget what label that was. Might have been Motown.
I'll go look.
Over the mountain, Johnny and Joe, cross the sea. That's a good song. The medley of their hit, I believe. Let's do a show on one-hit wonders. I haven't done that in years. The audience hates that. What?
I said, all right.
Or let's do, what's the greatest song of all time? We haven't done that in ages, too. And it always is, oh, God, why is it always Stairway to Heaven?
Just always is.
But it's not. Stairway to Heaven is the greatest rock song of all time?
No, Money by Pink Floyd is.
Ah! I think it's time for the break.
Estoy estrangulando el pollo para acá.
His name is Calderon and his Obama. Both trying their best to curb the flow of coke and marijuana. Oh, there were violent murders, some really gruesome, from the big cartels who are making big moolah. Rival gangs killing people, getting shot. For president said this has gotta stop. Trying to control the legal flow of drugs is a job that is tough. I'll tell you folks just what we should do. Just tighten up the border by sending in the troops. The perfect way to let them evil drug lords know what happens down in Mexico should stay in Mexico.
Yeah, like the Schweinhund flu. Keep it in Mexico, okay? God. Oh, and then the Chester Copperpot, who I thought had more intelligence than this. Maybe he's trying to be cute. All these people try to be funny and cute. And most definitely, if you see them, they're not cute. Jason says, I remember a couple of weeks ago there was a lot of Q-tip talk. I just did something you got to try. While cleaning my ear out with a Q-tip, I had tweezers in my other hand and used them to pull out my nose hairs. That's like coughing into the crevice of your armpit or whatever that guy said. Isn't that what he said?
Yep.
Cough into the crevice of your ass. Sensory overload, says Jason. I'm going to have a smoke and lay down now before I get out and get a mask and a big roll of duct tape. All the best. I hope your Mexican does not infect you. See, that's the part that just... He hasn't been in Mexico in 4.5 years, so how's he going to infect me?
I don't know, maybe...
He said when he went to school yesterday, there were a couple of little Chinaman kids. Oh, he's from Mexico, stay away. You know, and, of course, they just laugh. He didn't punch anybody out. Because he does have that Latino temper, you know what I'm saying? Like, once in a while. But he took it all in stride. I guess he can laugh because everybody else who's Mexican is in Mexico, most of them, and he's not.
Right.
Edward McGurn says, let's start a death pool. Ed in Fort Lauderdale. Who needs deadoralive.com? Study shows Keith Richards should have died in 1996. Does anybody really care anymore about Keith Richards? Do you care?
Not really, no.
God. It says Keith Richards should have died 8 years ago, according to a health expert. 96 is 8 years ago? Mm. This must be old. The 60-year-old Rolling Stone has outlived all expectations and eluded death after years of hard living, claims an American gerontologist. Oh, that's what I need.
A gerontologist?
Oh, and guess what I'm getting?
A gerontologist?
No, guess what I'm going to start collecting tomorrow?
Oh, Social Security?
Right. Ooh. Now I'm officially an old fart. Social Security. I got it coming.
Good.
It's not bad. It's like, it's not too bad. Not great. Not enough to walk away from here. Not enough to take, a disability and tell the company to jam it for their $500 a week like somebody did on the West Coast, Alice. David Demko investigated the lifestyles of music's biggest names and predicted their deaths in a survey entitled, When Will Your Favorite Rock Star Die? For U.S. magazine Blender. Put him in a blender. Speaking about Richards, Demko says he should have passed away at 52. I'm not sure how he does it, but he definitely defies all conventional wisdom. 80% of the factors that control how long you live are related to your lifestyle, not genes. Well, that's not good. I thought my genes were going to save my fat ass. I mean, up and down the line in my family, 88, 87, 90, 91, you know?
Yeah.
But lifestyle, diabetes. Mm-hmm. And then didn't it say ice cream is good for swine flu?
Yeah, that's what that little kid said.
That's what that little 5-year-old expert said. The guitarist admitted on his 60th birthday last year, there are a lot of people who never thought I'd make it this far. Keith Richards. Who cares? Among his other predictions, Demko concluded that Ozzy Osbourne will die in 2013 at age 65. Whitney Houston will only make it to 59, and Michael Jackson, 45, will die at the age of 76. But Sting fares rather better in life expectancy list. According to Demko's calculation, he should live to the age of 93. I mean, isn't that just a bunch of hocus pocus?
Yeah.
If you start thinking about these things too seriously, you become very weak, and you shrug your shoulders and you want to like lay down on the floor and just pass out from the stress of all of it. But just ignore it.
Right.
Sun is shining. It's a beautiful day here. It's going to be like 56.
Good.
Q, 56. 56 fart. The big fart. Anyway, Michael says the most awful fans are Red Sox fans. When they were at Tropicana Field last season, some drunk ass clown tried to jump the dugout and got tasered. The cop that tasered him then got lambasted by the local media. Did you ever bast a turkey?
No.
Well, then how come it's lambasted, not lambasted?
That's a very good point.
Yeah. I never basted a turkey. I never basted a turkey either when you come right down to it.
Did you ever bastard a turkey?
Never bastard a turkey. I basted a bastard from a basket.
Bastard from a basket!
Right. I basted that. That was really very sad, that part at the end of the movie. I mean, the whole movie was sad. Not tragic, I think is the word I'm looking for. But that was sad, don't you think?
It was very sad.
I think the saddest scene was when he took the kid on the train.
Yeah.
And then I'll be right back and just hauled off and left him there. You abandoned your child.
I abandoned my boy.
Yeah.
What an awful movie.
Yeah, the preacher. What was his name? The preacher?
Jeremiah.
Something, whatever.
Something like that. Jason?
No. Something with a J. He was good. When he had him come to church and forgive his sins, you know? Be baptized. Remember that scene?
Yep.
I abandoned my child. Say it. I abandoned my boy. Yeah, he puts him on the train. The kid is deaf. And he abandoned him. Although I guess he sent him off to some boarding school or something. Remember, he kept asking about who's he living with and how big is the room and is it bigger than a bread box? Very sad movie. Tragic.
Yep.
There will be blood. I think that's the prediction for, since everybody's making all these psychic predictions, that's my prediction for QAM before this year is out. There will be blood. Somebody's just going to go off the deep end and shoot somebody. I feel that, you know.
Yeah.
In fact, if I were there, I'd be a perfect candidate if I had a gun. Remember when I had my 2 guns? No, you don't. That was way back before your time. That was back in the W Snooze days. I didn't have 1 gun. I had 2. That was back during the Mariel boat lift, 82, whenever it was. And the convenience store across from the radio station, WNWS, the convenience store on the corner, which I doubt it's still there, they used to get held up like, every 3 days. But at any rate, it was not a pretty time in South Florida. This is a very sad email from our, John in Lake Worth, who's one of our best, dearest friends, long time.
Yeah.
He says, I know from time to time you read the articles from the Scum Sentinel. The article about the 2 dogs attacking the little Pomeranian here in Lake Worth is about my dog. So I know firsthand why Broward banned these killers. The story made headlines everywhere. He was a special little dog and sweet, like he referred to Tiny the other day. Just thought I'd let you know the story is about one of your biggest fans. Family tragedy. Have a great day. Sorry, John in Lake Worth. You're a good guy. Great guy.
Very sorry. Pomeranians are cute.
Little Pomeranian. The first dog I had as a kid, my uncle gave to me. He was part Pomeranian, part toy terrier. Skippy. Hey, Skippy. And he was a one-person dog. He loved me, but boy, other people he would snap at him,
Yeah, that's how they are.
Really? Pomeranians?
Yeah, if you allow them to be that way. And 1 or 2 swift backhands solves that problem.
I gave him a couple of those. Didn't make any difference. He still loved me. Skippy. And then when I went off to college, my mother, I told her the story. I heard that story. My mother had him put to sleep. And she made up some story about, he picked up some poison in the yard and they couldn't do anything for him. And then years later, she finally admitted, I just couldn't put up with it. He was just a nuisance. So she took him and had him put to sleep. He was in perfect health.
What a hard-hearted bitch.
And I said to her, how about if I take you and have you put to sleep? Of course, as it turned out, I didn't need to do it. But isn't that something? You go off to college and your mother has your little pet dog. I had that dog from the time I was, I think, 5 years old. No, not 5.
That's brutal.
10 years old at the time I went to college, 18.
Huh.
And the dog was only, 8 or 9 years old. I mean, little dogs, as you know, can live to 14, 15, 18.
That's right.
Not when Mom has got her finger in it.
She's a killer.
Bitch. I should have told her that last day when I called her on her birthday, death day.
Mm-hmm.
Should have said, you're going to have to answer for Skippy. Mamacita.
This is the most disgusting program. I urge everyone to complain to this station.
All right. Republicans got their leaders serving in Washington. But the guy in charge is a radio talker. He's a pill-popping son of a gun. Well, he big and bald as a man can come. And he screams into the microphone. And if he says something that the GOP don't like, they better just leave it alone. That's because I gotta say you don't curse Ronald Reagan's name. You don't criticize George Bush. You don't question whether we should be tax cutting. And you don't mess around with Rush. You don't get married if you're gay. You park your hair on the side with a brush. You don't give any credit to old Obama, and you don't mess around with Rush.
That's Phil Pop and Fat Ass Rush to you. 1046 at 560 WQAM. I think I got my voice back after this,
all right.
namby-pamby flu, whatever I had. Haven't even got to the polls yet. It's almost 11 o'clock. That's bad. I got some inside poop coming.
Okay.
From Barry Jackass. Then I got one from Jimmy Syphilitic. Here's the poll from yesterday. 910 votes. Not too shabby. The most annoying habit other people can do in my presence is emit bad breath or BO 190. I would say just in general, don't emit anything from your body that stinks. Have a loud cell phone conversation 157. Pick their nose 96. I was just picking my nose during the break. Chew with their mouth open 90. Fart 88. Chew gum noise. WCBS used to be 880, I believe, in New York. And I'm sure it still is. I don't know if it's still WCBS. You know how these stations keep changing the call letters and formats? Fart 88. Of course, it was all news. That would have been a little bit unseemly for a news station, to have a logo like that. Fart 88. Chew gum noisily 42. Spit on the ground 41. Whistle 34. Spit while talking 33. Scratch their balls 27. Crack their knuckles 16. That wasn't too bad.
No.
Sneeze 15, hum 15, eat sloppy 12. Chris Matthews, it isn't enough that they got him on 2 hours with hard softballs. He was a guest on Oberman last night, and he had spittle on his chin. And they finally panned away from him for a couple of seconds, and somebody must have told him to wipe his chin. He is just a drooling imbecile. Cough 12, pick their teeth 11, scratch their butt 10. How about scratch somebody else's butt?
That's
burp 9, bite their nails 8, and jingle their keys 4 out of 910 vote. And by the way, I hate to break the news to you, Jimmy Syphilitic, but Joe Bell loves this show. That's what he told Norma, allegedly, the other night. Of course, he does lie a lot, but nevertheless, I don't believe it. If you love something, why do you want to destroy it? 372 votes on today's poll. What should be off limits to comedy? Pretty weak, huh? I don't have a whole bunch of polls on there. All you poll inventors, you better get with it. At one point there, I had about a dozen, all racked up, ready to fire them off. But at the moment...
Nothing?
Oh, my God. Look at this long, ponderous... Thank you for reading this, Neil. And let's hope we can keep our drinking water clean and safe. Okay. Let me go back to the poll. What should be off limits to comedy? Absolutely nothing, 128. Nothing as long as it's funny, 81. Terminally sick children, 77. Child molestation, 35. The Holocaust, 18. 9/11, 12. God, 6. Oh, God dang it. God should be off limits to comedy. Cancer patients, 4. The royal family, 3. The royal family, my ass. Those constipated Germans? Are you kidding me? The Battenbergs? AIDS, 2. Jesus Christ, 2. Princess Diana, 2. We'll get back to you, Diana. The recently deceased, 2. Disaster victims, 2. Gays, 1. The Pope, 1. The disabled, 1. Jews, 1. The president, none yet for the president, Mother Teresa, somebody's parents, O.J. killings, the Kennedys, Muslims, or blacks. None yet for those. Off limits to comedy. I guess whatever would offend you should be off limits to comedy, right?
Right. I voted for the terminally old children. I mean, how could that
what's
possibly...
funny about that? Yeah. But then again, there are some people on the air who think everything's a big joke. Just like that guy that we worked with for about 5 minutes at the Paxson IOD, the morning guy who kept making fun of his disabled child.
Uh-huh.
I mean, what's funny about having a disabled kid?
Nothing.
And every morning he was on there making all kinds of caustic, idiotic comments. It's just...
outrageous.
It's unacceptable. Out-freaking-rageous. Speaking of outrageous, here's the latest missive from Jimmy Syphilis. And, of course, what makes these obviously authentic is the fact that they're from Jimmy Syphilis at jimmysyphilis@gmail.com. Dow's up 158. And that's kind of great. Aren't you excited?
Thrilled to death.
Jimmy Syphilis says, Manny just informed me of your disparaging remarks once again this morning. You must be out of material. Your bully tactics won't work with me, buddy. I can fight like the best of them. It's obvious you're jealous of my rating success. You're becoming obscure. The times are passing you by. You liberals got us into this mess we find ourselves in. Yeah, that's right. They've been in office the last 8 years. And the liberal answer is to keep spending, ? Liberals are going to spend us into a depression. Soon the American dollar won't be worth the paper it's printed on. I hear from my friends at WQAM that Joe is becoming very tired of your antics. I would not be surprised if they fired you and George outright and replaced you with Sid Rosenberg. It couldn't happen to a nicer guy. Good luck. Yeah, that would make sense to me. Put on Sid. He was such a success across the street with his shares. Like you said, if it's a failure, they love it. And they'll put it on the air, and it'll suck, and it'll fail.
And they'll pay good money for it.
Oh, yeah. Put Sid Rosenberg on the air. I mean, just like Pharrell and Mo, the hirings that this company's done in the last 10 years, people with the worst track records in the business who've gotten canned everywhere they've ever been. People with horrendous track records, personally and professionally. And these are the kind of people they gravitate toward. When they hired Pharrell, and I couldn't believe it. Could you believe it?
I didn't know from the man.
Oh, that's right. You're not a sports groupie. Well, I'm not either, but I mean, I knew that he had gotten canned everywhere.
I did not.
Well, are you surprised now?
No.
So it's a good thing for him that there is such a thing as Sirius Radio.
Serious?
I'm serial. At least for the time being, there is. Let's look up Sirius stock. The Dow is having a big day, up 157. Of course, Sirius is on the NASDAQ. Sirius stock. I've not been doing my duty every day. We've been ignoring the Sirius stock. We used to give you really regular updates. 39 cents. Oh, man, it is zoomed way up there. I told you when it was down there to about 6 cents, it was a great buying opportunity, didn't I? Not?
Yep.
39 cents. All right. But if you look at the articles about Sirius, it says that they'll be out of business by summer, you know.
Mm.
Good investment. And then, of course, they keep screwing over their subscribers. It's not bad enough that they need more and more subscribers, but they keep pissing off the existing one by juggling all the channels around. And when they merged with XM, I guess they really did a major restructuring that pissed off most of their subscribers. Nice going, Serial. Barry Jackass has something fairly interesting for a change. And this one, and he writes his Barry Jackson from barryjackass@gmail.com, as opposed to like Jimmy Syphilis. Barry says, according to Ken Charles, Randy Rhoads will not be heard on WIOD. I already told everybody that, Barry. He doesn't think she'd fit in with Rush and Schmidt. No kidding. I'm waiting to hear back from Howard Davis on the morning situation at 790. I hear they're not happy with George Sedano's demands, but may have no choice. Hearing that Jesse Agler is being considered. A real broadcaster? A real honest-to-God?
I don't believe it.
Broadcaster who belongs on the air, who's got a good voice, who sounds like he knows what he's talking about? I hear they're not happy with Jorge Sedano's demands. He must really be something, that Sedano kid. He thinks his stuff don't stink. I guarantee you it stinks just as bad as Ethan Skolnick's. How do you like that?
Wow.
We'll have to ask Beaucamper about that. Now, wasn't that on the, I'm trying to remember which incarnation of the morning show that was on. Wasn't that on the Kenny and Blow morning show? When they used to have all those sports writers on and spend hours talking about being at Ethan Skolnick's apartment and how bad his BM smelled. All that. Oh. That was another incarnation of the Joe Bell era. The Kenny and Blow morning show. And you talk about living up to your name.
This is the Neil Rogers Show. This is your brain.
You fairy.
Any questions?
Some radio stations give you money. Some radio stations give you cars. But this radio station is different. Because this radio station is going to give you eternal life. That's right. We'll grant you eternal life. Eternal life. And 3 days spending cash to get you started. Here's what you do. Be listening this weekend. And when you hear this sound, be the 10th caller. We'll register you for your chance to live forever. Eternal life. Then, next Friday morning, we'll draw the name of one lucky person who will rip us off for one eternal life. So be listening here to the radio station where life goes on. And on. And on.
Oh, yeah, we're getting tired of it already. Let's croak. So Johnny Quest, who is another amateur comedian, remember the one I just read about, you should be grateful for a job and why you're picking on Joe Bell, remember that?
Yes.
The reason I sent you the message was to prompt you to play my favorite bit, Mandich, about God Bless America. That's not a bit.
Yeah.
Here's another radio expert, my favorite bit. It's a drop-in.
If he wants me to sing God Bless America and pasties and a G-string up here, I'll do it.
But I guess it went over your head, he said. Yeah, it went way over my head. If you can't play that bit, could you please play the Chris Matthews bit? No, I'm not playing any more bits, okay? Oh, my God. Everybody's a comedian. It went over your head, though, Neil. It was just too esoteric, yeah. Steven from Vegas says the Caps came back from 3-1 down to beat the stinking Rangers. There might be a God after all. Sergei put the biscuit in the basket. F the Rangers. They put the biscuit in the basket. A tisket, a tasket. They put the biscuit in the basket. Rangers lost. Rangers blew it. 3-1 lead in the series. They wound up losing in 7. Oh, my God. Rangers, I haven't got one email from any of those humble Ranger fans saying, yeah, we sucked. We blew it. Wouldn't that be nice? Here's one from Joe Bell. Subject, your personality. Boy, that incident with your mother and dog explains a lot about your personality. No wonder you're a heartless bastard. Yeah, I'm the heartless bastard. I'm the one that's destroying everybody's life and firing everybody. That's right, Joe. I'm the heartless bastard. I'm the one that's trying to put everybody out on the street. Speaking of putting everybody out on the street, what a segue. Clear Channel cuts in Miami. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Jen Wild went from big, which is only notable in the fact that it now leaves the station with 6 hours of Paul and Old Ron, one good shift of Doc Reno, and the rest of the day with the same rotation that Bree Miller seems to think is good for those who want to hear the same Zeppelin, Stones, etc. tracks that you did the previous year and a half. Say what you want about Jen Wild, but at least she was a warm body in the CC compound, Clear Channel. Untalented, yes, but at least a live person, which is unusual for them. JMP was let go from the 12th sports station in the market because there's no better time to get rid of your in-studio heat host than during the NBA playoffs when your team is still alive. Who's JMP?
Don't know.
Well, I guess you wouldn't know. Also, various members of the WYD news staff were let go, including reporters Wayne Rooston, John Levitt, and traffic anchor Don Anthony. My former producer, John Levitt. My friends in the Jewish community, and my friends in the black community, and my friends in the Cuban community. Oh, my God, what a fetch he was.
Is that
he
where
was
that came
strange.
From?
What?
Is that where that came from?
He was really strange, John Levitt. Strange. Yet somehow the news directors and program directors all stayed. Well, what else would you expect when the idiots continue to run the asylum? I don't know who this is from, but good point. So they're starting to make all kind of more additional big cuts. They already cut just bare to the bone at Chief Channel, and now they're cutting more. John Levitt, maybe we can bring him over here. He can go, Wow. It's amazing how these names just keep bouncing around all these years later. Wayne Rooston. Was he at IOD at no, I don't think so. You know Wayne Rooston?
Nope. Is he Rooston?
Oh, speaking of roosters, Kenny Rogers. Remember Kenny Rogers Roosters?
Yes.
Who's really chronic. Says, love you guys. I've had season tickets for the Marlins for 8 years. We usually go out there and tailgate, grill and eat and drink and such. I've left my hibachi grill out over 200 times over the years. It was never bothered until the Red Sox came to town. After the Red Sox game, we came out to cook some more, and the fans decided to steal my grill. I don't stereotype it, but my opinion, Red Sox fans, whether at bars, at a game, or just walking the streets, are the worst fans out there, says the Kenny Rogers. Sure, it's not the Kenny Rogers that's working for us part-time, or maybe was working part-time. I don't know. But I think that guy who said yesterday we ought to hire back Defoe and who else? Geldy and Joe, and get the resurrect the worst team in the morning.
There you go.
That's what we're looking to do. Add payroll, baby. That's what they're really looking to do. Hire some new blood. I mean, you know what this reminds me of? It's like this flu thing. The question in your mind is when does it stop?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm wondering about this business. When does the bloodbath stop? Does it? Does it ever stop?
Yes.
Is anybody safe? Is anybody safe?
Is it safe?
And I'm a heartless son of a bitch, huh?
Right.
Is it safe?
Greg says, hi, Neil. Do you remember the days we were allowed to laugh at Condoleezza Rice? F anyone who thinks they're above being laughed at. I've walked forever with a bad limp from polio, and I laugh at myself every day. Not only do I want to hear the Condoleezza song on an endless loop, but I want to see the VH1 in the studio special with Boca Brian discussing all the subtle nuances of doing the recording and what it meant to him personally. I know what it meant to me personally when they told us we couldn't play it no more. And Muff was like, oh, gee, they're going to throw me under the bus. I'm going to take the heat for the... Poor Muff. Great guy, but such a nervous Nelly, you know what? A basket case. I bet you he's seen a few baskets. What are you laughing about now? That's serious business.
Oh, yeah.
Let's take a look at the new emails. There actually are a couple. There's some. Oh, Brian the Beast London says, oh, JMP is Jeremy Mark Peltz. Another one of those people I never heard of and don't ever want. I don't want to know who that is. Somebody across the street. Yeah, I already got this, George, about the hotel bathrooms voted classiest. I got that. We'll get to it. If you send me something, I don't read it right away. It means either I'll get to it later or I'm never going to read it. Okay?
Okay.
That's just like my telling them, don't send me attachments or links. Do you know how many of those I get every day? 8 million. Attachments and links. I don't open them. I don't pay attention to them. I delete them right away, and they go away. They just go away. Oh, more cheap channel cuts. I got another update on that. Another spy report. This is good. It's a great day for the Irish, the Jewish, the Goyish, the Schwarzers. It's a great day for everybody. The Mexicans, well, not so much. Poor, picked-on Mexicans.
The people who are not saying very poor are saying fairly poor. So the correct way to put it is we're seeing less pessimism than...
Right, that's right. We're optimistic. We got good things coming. Oh! Depression, swine flu. Oh! Everybody's getting canned out of work. Oh! What's not to like? Now, where's this update on the Cheap Channel? Here's more. This is from the Phantom Informer. Oh, that's good. Used to like the Phantom Informer a lot and haven't heard from it in a long time.
Right.
The latest round of job cutting at Clear Channel runs deep. It involves some high-profile on-the-air personalities. Among them, 104.1's Bubba Whoop-Ass Wilson of the Monsters in the Morning and Otto from the Phelps File. What's 104.1?
I don't know.
I haven't got a clue what that is.
Is that in this market?
Yeah. Oh, no. Oh, that must be in Orlando. Yeah. I'm heartbroken, said a crestfallen Jim Phillips as he prepared for a staff meeting. You're talking about wonderful, talented people. I've always said that whatever success I've had, it's because of the people around me. The show will never be the same. Never. Never. Don't ever take sides with anyone against the family again. Never. Said Monsters leader Russ Rollins, this is a very sad day for me and for all Monsters fans. Everyone on the show is heartbroken. We all loved Bubba. This isn't Bubba the Love Sponge. This is Bubba Whoop-Ass Wilson. Whoop-Ass. Also gone our longtime 106.7 FM morning producer Alex Diaz, the Shot Doctor and his show from 5:40 a.m., and Crazy Sam from Rumble 100.3. Also departing are a number of veteran off-air employees, including 540 program director Tom Benson. The company wouldn't discuss the departures, but did confirm them. Many media companies, my own included, are suffering nowadays, it says. But Clear Channel, in particular, seems to be struggling more than most. You're struggling with one round of departure after another. Last one was just 3 months ago. I'd be checking my back, Jimmy Syphilis, if I was you. Cheap Channel my ass. Everybody's getting the axe. And let me ask you something about that.
Oh, Neil! Lick it and stick it.
What am I going to do with all this matzah?
Passover's over, and wouldn't it be neat if you could use all the matzah that you didn't eat? Catch it like a frisbee with your friends in the park, or you could jump in the water and pretend you're a shark. You can make a matzah big and play the guitar, and you can make a matzah license plate for your car. Use it as a coaster when you're drinking your beer, or you can throw it as confetti for a happy new year.
Insulate.
Decorate.
Exfoliate.
Constipate. Passover's over, and wouldn't it be neat if you could use all the matzah that you didn't eat? Crumble up some matzah to line your hamster cage, or you can use it as a bookmark to hold your page. Break a stack of matzah when you practice your karate. Build a matzah doghouse for your doggy named Scotty. Make a little matzah boat and wave it goodbye, or you can make a pair of matzah wings and learn how to fly. Wear some matzah jewelry, make a picture frame for me, have a drink of matzah tea. Matzah's all that I can see. There's just one more thing to do with unleavened bread. You can eat it, 'cause it ain't all that bad.
Ain't all that good the first time, I'll tell you that. Wow, 11:17 at 560. Here's the acting director of the CDC.
State that is anywhere near running into trouble in terms of their supplies of antivirals or their ability to take care of patients. But with our forward-moving approach,
don't forget, don't start getting panicky.
We are distributing 25% of the stockpile supplies that are allocated for each state to those states now. And some of the states have received them, and all of the states will receive them by May 3rd. We continue to issue guidance, and we develop this guidance in conjunction with our partners. The guidance for pregnant women and H1N1 is on the web. We are also posting guidance for clinicians caring for children. We have antiviral recommendations for patients and close contacts, and we've posted guidance for airline crews in identifying potentially sick passengers. When I finish my comments, we'll be hearing an update on some of the work going on at the Food and Drug Administration.
Oh, yeah, great. The good old FDA. They'll protect you.
Not.
Why don't they just disband the FDA? They don't do anything anyway.
Right.
Timothy says, Philadelphia fans are goons. Mets fans are ill-mannered idiots. Let me take out this Halls Mentholyptus and set it aside. Well, I don't want to read while I'm sucking on a Ricola, whatever it is. Some cough drop. With sugar in it, too, by the way.
Okay.
Philadelphia fans are goons. Mets fans are ill-mannered idiots. But the title of worst goes to Boston with too many reasons to cite. Here's one. At the Patriots' 2002 Super Bowl victory celebration in Beantown, amid the festivities, a chant of Yankees suck rose and sustained for several minutes. WTF, ? Very classy. They won the Super Bowl, but all I could think of was baseball and the Yankees. Pathetic, says Tim. Pathetic. Somebody's out in my hallway.
Is it the knobber?
Talking loud. I don't know. Talking very loud. Finally, they went into their joint. Why do people do that? They stand outside other people's doors and I don't want to hear what you have to say. I'm not interested. I don't think. Several people have sent me this, and I really don't know whether I should promote it or not, but why the hell not? We promoted all the other giveaways, food giveaways. Why not?
Okay.
Free burritos Wednesday at Chipotle Miami Lakes. Chipotle Mexican Grill.
Okay.
Is it one of our fine sponsors? Maybe it will be someday. Or maybe it already is. I have no idea. To celebrate it's Wednesday opening. Chipotle Mexican Grill in Miami Lakes is giving away free burritos and burrito bowls, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Choose any of the naturally raised meats or go vegetarian, which comes with black beans, homemade guacamole, and steamed rice. Oh! If I could tell you what I think of black beans and guacamole. Even soft drinks are free on Wednesday. This is today. Now. Happening now. Till 7 o'clock. The Miami Lakes restaurant is at 8154th Street. And it's got a picture here of a Chipotle burrito. Well, I ain't never seen a burrito like that.
No.
So anyway, that's going on now. Now, do you think I did the right thing by reading that?
Sure.
Give them a
and if they're
plug.
not on the air, one of our salespeople can go, and call on them.
I'll tell you. You haven't lost it.
Thanks.
I mean, Joe isn't sure you ever had it. See, there you go, mentioning Joe. I told you, don't let me get involved with him.
Sorry
today.
about that.
He gets me aggravated. I get really negative vibes. The Dow is up how much? 161 points? Good God. What's going on? Looks like a real good selling opportunity. Haven't heard from Maria today. Good old Maria. Maybe Maria's got diarrhea. Could be. How are we doing on this horseball poll? We have 417 votes. That's not too bad. Tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, the winter book comes out, the rating book, Arbitron, January, February, and March. It's a full book. And then, like Friday, of course, I won't be here Friday, but we'll have the hourlies.
Right.
I'll leave that to you to read those? Or do you want to save them for Monday?
Oh, well, I'll save them.
Yeah, it'll give me something to kill an hour with on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
See how the Big O did. See how they did across the street in Everything Except Morning Drive. And that really cracks me up. Oh, these guys across the street are killing you. Yeah, they got 0 and 1 shares all day except Afternoon Drive, and they're killing us? They're kidding no one, not even themselves. They know failure, abject failure is the way to describe their efforts these last however long they've been on. They've tried everything but the kitchen sink, and it hasn't worked. Sid the Kid, the Bookster, this one, that one. Maybe they can pick up John Levitt. Uh-huh. Maybe they can pick up some of these cheap channel rejects. Uh-huh. Those are the days, boy. WNWS. You're right, I could write a book. I'd be the only one who'd read it, but it would sure be entertaining to me to write it and then to read it. WNWS. 790. That preceded what you got over there now. And I guarantee we had a hell of a lot, but we didn't have any numbers that started with a 0 or a 1. We had big, giant numbers. Show they were ancient demographics. Who cares? Aren't you excited about tomorrow morning?
I am.
Possibility for some bonus money? Huh?
I said, yes, I am.
For many of us, faith is in flux, writes John Kerner, Sun Sentinel, Scum Sentinel staff writer. Young adults are most likely to switch churches or stop going altogether. Maybe there's hope. About half all American adults have changed religious affiliation, most often because they felt spiritually unfulfilled or found a church they liked better, according to a study released Monday. Young adults are most likely to switch churches or stop going to church altogether. Those who leave the religion of their childhood are most likely to do so before they reach age 24, according to the Pew Forum on Religion and Public Life survey. So many forums and so many surveys and so much BS. Dow's up 166. Let's have a party. The religious churn suggests that many Americans, even those who don't attend church, are constantly looking for religious fulfillment, said John Green, researcher on Faith in Flux, changes in religious affiliation in the U.S. There's a real demand side of the religious marketplace that complements the supply side. There are people who are ready, willing, and able to change faiths if they find one that appeals to them, Green said. The survey had good news and bad news for the Catholic Church. While Catholics have one of the highest retention rates of people raised in the church because they're fantastic at brainwashing, they also are losing more members than they're gaining. All you can say to that is,
Oi!
The thing for Catholics is the number of people leaving outnumbers the people joining the Catholic Church by a 4-to-1 margin, said Greg Smith, a Pew researcher. No other religious group had that kind of ratio, leaving versus people joining. Nearly 60% of former Catholics who no longer attend any church cited dissatisfaction with the church's positions on abortion and homosexuality, and half cited their position on birth control.
Nobody cited their position on child rape?
Among Protestants, half said they left because they stopped believing in the church's teachings. All the bubble mices all the time. John and Carol McNally's family epitomizes the range of reasons that so many Americans shift religious affiliation throughout their lives. John was raised a Catholic and belongs to the 56% of Americans who never switch religions. Well, let me get back to that after the break. It's long and ponderous, but it's good.
Good.
And it's promising. It holds some hope out there for the future of the subhuman race. Just because they brainwash you with a bunch of fairy tales, remember, there's no tooth fairy and there's no Santa Claus, okay? Oh, but there must be a God. There is only...
Oh, God!
There is only one. Don't you think it's time for a sequel to Exorcist?
Yes.
Oh, we already had 2 of them. I forgot. And they were both awful. The third one was the worst, the one with Richard Burton.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever see that?
Oh, yeah, I saw them.
Oh, God.
You get a lot of it. Sports! With Neil Rogers on Sports Hole Radio, WQAM.
This portion of the show brought to you by Spring Break in Mexico, the only party destination with hot and cold bodies and drugs worth fighting for.
Oh, I love that. Let's just keep playing that on endless loop.
Do it again.
Jimmy Syphilis is back with another caustic email, but before that, Tom Jicka says, per Aventura Police Department, Aventura City of Excellence Charter School received 2 suspicious letters this morning. FBI's on the scene with MDFR hazmat. What's MDFR?
I don't know. Miami-Dade Fire Rescue.
Very good.
I'm just guessing.
That's it.
Wow.
Wow. And they want to let you go?
Please. Let me go?
They want to make you go?
Yeah.
They want to take you to the door and shove you as hard as they can?
That's right.
That's the door back there by those stairs that fat boy fell down that time?
Mm-hmm. Tumbled down the stairs.
Unfortunately, not hard enough. Jimmy Syphilis says, keep on talking trash, Rogers. I'm the only local show on the... You know, it's Manny from Kendall. It's Manny, his producer.
Okay.
Who's writing all this crap, guaranteed. I'm the only local show on the station and the highest-rated AM morning host in the market. If anyone is going to be let go, it is you and your $500,000 salary. Not even close, Jimmy. You haven't deserved that money in years. You are the most overpaid talent, in quotes, in the country. George G. Beasley and Bruce G. Beasley are wise to you. Mark my words, you aren't going to last through the end of the year. If you aren't let go, Joe Bell will. You understand that sentence? If you aren't let go, Joe Bell will?
No.
I would have Norm contact the folks at James Crystal Radio immediately, if not sooner. Woo! Maybe I can get some of that worthless James Crystal stock. That was their big offer during those heated contract negotiations. James Crystal schlock stock for their 82 sports stations with their point share. Although Defoe's over there, wouldn't it be great to reunite with Mefo? Not. 640. How many watts they got?
About 30, man.
In other words, what's the point? Anyway, getting back to this thing about faith is in flux. Good article. John and Carol McNally's family epitomizes the range of reasons that so many Americans shift religious affiliation throughout their lives. John was raised a Catholic, belongs to the 56% of Americans who never switch religions. Carol was raised as an Episcopalian, is among the 30% of Protestants who said they left their church because of a lifestyle change such as marriage or moving to a new community. Carol converted to Catholicism in 1979 after attending church services for years with her husband and 5 children. I would stay in the pew while they were taking communion. There was something missing, said Carol, 64, in Orlando. I came for all the appetizers, but I couldn't stay for the dinner. She didn't get the wafer, I guess. Isn't that right?
Right.
Or try the wine. 2 of the couple's 5 children have left the Catholic faith. One of their daughters became a Methodist upon marriage, while another married a Baptist who became Catholic. Their youngest child became a Baptist after she began questioning Catholic beliefs. Well, how can anybody do that? She was the one who was always staring at the ceiling in church and thinking about 5 different things, Mom said. Now she's active in her church and goes to all sorts of Bible studies. Oh, how sad. The survey of 2,867 adults between October 3rd and November 7th also found that most people who leave their church gradually drift away. Carol said her son fits that description. She still holds out hope for her backsliding Catholic son, who is married but childless. Having children, she said, is another one of those lifestyle changes that leads people back to church. Making babies. Isn't that what the Catholic Church is all about?
And money.
Making babies and then molesting them?
Right.
The religious comings and goings within the McNally family show what a Pew Research found, a rich religious diversity that offers many choices. Rather than signaling a decline of religion, the faith's influx represent a spiritual vitality, this crap says. Yeah. These patterns of change are highly correlated to religious diversity, Green said. There are a lot of groups people move from and move to. It doesn't matter to Carol who among her children is Catholic and who isn't. The religious diversity around the family table is inspiring and reassuring. I'm just glad they have a strong faith to fall back on in times of crisis and need, she said. We have so many really good religious discussions. Most of them end with probably gunshots, I would imagine. What do you send me?
Hey,
you actually sent me something. The real Phantom Informer says, I've retired as the Phantom Informer. In fact, I'm out of the business, thank God. It was not me. I don't even have that little picture I used to include at the bottom of each fax anymore. If I ever find it, I'll send it to you. But if it's not there, except for now, it's a faker and not me. Except no substitutes. Love and kisses, the real Phantom Informer. We should have known, huh? But I'm so easy. I get suckered into all that crap on the email. I believe they're all real. Even the fake Jimmy Syphilis. I mean, wouldn't you put on your email, Jimmy Syphilis?
Sure, I do anyway.
Now, what is this supposed to mean?
Apparently that's from the...
Jeremy Marks Peltz. Somebody sends me this picture of him. disgusting guy with grotesque thick lips. It says, when somebody looks like him, and then it's got a bunch of commentary here, which I'm sure this is from across the street. Charles in Pinecrest sent this in. Should I print it out? I'm printing it out right now. And won't it be spiffy when I have my new thing tomorrow?
Your new drum?
The new drum. We marched to a different drum on this show, baby. We got a new drum coming tomorrow so that I can put it in that thing over there. Although it worked pretty well, my makeshift deal. I'm telling you, I'm pretty good at creating all these makeshift things in my own little studio here. And isn't it interesting that we have a technical problem 99 times out of 100, it's there on that end.
Sure.
Because nobody's in here to mess around with all this stuff.
Coincidence?
The settings are always the same. There's nothing to mess around with. Charles in Pinecrest says, when somebody's first word is Duke, and that person's method of learning mathematics is studying Brad Lowhouse's basketball card, you'd expect him to somehow land up as a station sports guy. Jeremy Marks Peltz, or JMP for those frightened by three names, fits the description of 94 WINZ sports director and is the studio host for the Miami Heat Broadcast Network. Oh, this is just a puff piece. He's one of South Florida's rising play-by-play stars, serving as the play-by-play voice of the FIU Golden Panthers football on 940 WINZ. That's pretty heavy duty. He's also called UM Athletics on ACC Select and has experience in minor league baseball and high school football. Those who listen to JNP on the Sports Animal are aware. Oh, that's right, 940 is the Sports Animal. Choked me up. Are aware of his diehard allegiances to the Heat, Dolphins, Hurricanes, and the Mets. Oh, the Mets, not the Marlins? What kind of a local sports guy is that who's a Mets fan? Sounds like Mo, who was a Jets fan, doing the Dolphin games. Remember we used to get spy reports that his wife and family would attend the Dolphin games when the Jets were playing at Dolphin Stadium, and that they would be wearing Jets jerseys. Remember those rumors?
Yep.
No way to confirm them, but it's certainly a possibility. What should be off limits to comedy? That's our mediocre poll question today. 439 votes. President Obama's 100th day now. They're making a big timus about that. Yesterday was Arlen Specter's back to the Democrats, and now it's Obama's 100th day.
Being left behind, our nation's not leading the world in developing 21st century energy. I'm not satisfied. And I know you aren't either. The crisis that we're confronting was many years in the making. It will take us time to overcome it.
Anything besides swine flu, right?
Right.
Let's get a whole bunch of other stuff on there and calm down about the swine flu until somebody starts coughing in your face. In fact, I'm going to say this. If somebody sneezes right in front of you or coughs in your face, shoot them. What should be off limits to comedy? Absolutely nothing, 141. Everything else is small potatoes. Nothing as long as it's funny, 95. Terminally sick children, 91. That's far and away the one category. Somebody should have told it to that loser. What was his name? Do you remember?
Billy.
Billy?
Billy. You know, everyone's name was Ron. The other person was always Ron. Remember they wanted to replace the other Ron?
Diaz.
Correct. So whoever, they were doing this series of auditions.
Audition. That's right. Sonny Fox was on there for a couple of days, and then Billy Bob.
Right. So the other person was always Ron, whatever their real name actually was.
And then they paid me off to go away for 7 months.
Mm-hmm.
And QM started paying you for doing production.
Right.
And that's when you warned me, this is not a radio station. No. It's a sports bar with a microphone.
Or a business, right.
You warned me.
It was shocking, and it's no different now than it was then.
And I love the fact that when we started down on the second floor, we were playing commercials off carts that hadn't been erased.
Yeah.
And you could hear
everything.
In the background, you could hear like another spot. So it was like spots in stereo, 2 spots at the same time. Or you'd hear whoosh, whoosh, the unerased cart.
They took the book of production errors and things not to do and followed it very closely.
Mm-hmm. But I'll tell you, those were really great days compared to like now.
These days?
Those were the salad days. Well, what does that expression mean? There's another stupid expression.
I don't know.
Salad days.
Maybe in the good old days we could have salad.
I'd rather have the dessert days.
All right.
Neil? God? From the producers of Fast and Furious, Oprah Winfrey stars in Fat and Furious.
It's no secret. I've gained weight.
A staggering 530 pounds.
That's a big fat ass.
She's so fat her shadow weighs 15 pounds.
I am mad at myself.
Oprah Winfrey in Fat and Furious.
I'm too fat to go to the gym.
Yeah, lose some weight.
She is a hero to huge, sloppy women.
11:46, 14 till noon at 560 WQAM. It's amazing to me. Well, I guess not amazing. Shocking.
What's that?
Now, one person in this audience has seen that movie Deadbolt with Adam Baldwin and Justine Bateman. Well, I talked about it yesterday. I'm not saying it's one of the great movies of all time or even sensational, but it kills an hour and a half. It's not bad. It keeps your attention. It weaves a web of crap, you know.
Okay.
I think I spoiled it already with the thing about the botulism, but nevertheless, nobody has seen it. Deadbolt. And you still can't remember if you did see it.
No, I don't think I did. I think I'd remember that.
You'd remember what, the botulism?
Or something.
Joey says, Jeremy Marks Peltz. As if we care. I'm so sick and tired of Jeremy Marks Peltz.
I still don't know who that is.
And I don't either, and I don't care. Used to be Defoe's sidekick when Defoe was doing early mornings at the Ticket. The Ticket. Ticket. I guess we don't run those anymore, thank God. Ticket. You know what I think they've got in mind? I think they want Flea to do middays. And then maybe team him up with Sid Rosencrantz.
Okay.
I think that's what they got in mind. And I think the tactic is going to be to bring this issue about you getting canned to a head.
All right.
So that I would walk out and you'll be gone, and then they can stick whoever they want in there.
Sounds like a plan.
Bargain basement.
They can go back to those ratings that they had before you came over.
That's right.
Peaking at 2s, yeah.
A 1, a 2. The Lawrence Welk ratings, a 1s, a 2s.
They would have a party if they got to a 2.
At least Lawrence Welk would do a 1, a 2, a 3. They never got to a 3.
No.
Barry Jackass informs me more Jeremy Peltz crap. FIU football is switching radio stations this fall and will have its games broadcast on 790 The Ticket beginning with the season opener Alabama September 12th. Who cares? Who cares? When Golden Panthers games conflict with Marlins or Panther games, FIU can be heard on WMCU 1080. What is that? WMCU? Did you ever hear such a thing?
Nope.
Last year, FIU football was heard on 940 INZ. The football broadcast will have new announcers as FIU chose not to retain color analyst Randy Kasowitz and sideline reporter Michael Mandich. Michael Mandich? Is that his kid?
I guess.
I mean, a stupid question, obviously. How many Mandiches are there?
A couple.
Last year's play-by-play announcer, Jeremy Marks Peltz, is considered a candidate for the FIU play-by job on 790. The new announcer is expected to be named later this summer. Wow, Barry, that's some really, really heavy-duty crap. Jeremy Marks Peltz. Don't they make fur coats out of that?
Yep.
Good God. Are you referring to Bill Hayes from the Paxson days? Asked the fake Tom Jicka. I guess that was his name, wasn't it? Bill Hayes? Doesn't ring a bell?
Nope.
It does with me. That was his name.
Oh, wait, yeah.
Oh, Rooster Choo Choo is back. Your close personal buddy.
Oh,
your
yeah.
paisan. Mm-hmm. Your amigo.
Yeah.
Your hero. Please stop playing Obama's live media propaganda events.
Unfortunately, the plan that they presented...
We've got enough corporatist propaganda through mainstream media. Could you please tell me the difference between the George Bush administration and the Wall Street puppet master-laden people in the Obama administration?
And you couldn't... What they were doing wasn't paying...
Oh, it's cutting out.
Without being wards of the state.
I think it's a commie pinko conspiracy. You see the way that audio's cutting out in the picture, too? Jumping around? I just blocked Rooster Choo Choo again. It won't do any good.
No.
Take a big dump on your wherever you're sitting, okay, Rooster? Get lost. Hop on the morning train and hope you feel lots of pain. Maybe you'll hop on the same train that little deaf kid did, and there will be blood. And maybe Rooster Choo Choo, we can get some blood on his tail. What do you think?
Sounds great.
George said, this is George with a G. I've been listening since WKAT, a big fan but not a fanatic. Well, why not? I think you should set up a Neil Rogers trivia contest. I think not. There's so much that so many new listeners last 20 years do not know, plus mix up recent trivia. We would have a hoot trying to find out the answers. Some examples. What kind of business did Neil own? A, broadcasting school. B, consulting business. C, nutrition store. D, all of the above. What city and city manager attacked Neil Rogers publicly? Hallandale Beach and Ikendola. His name was Intindola, not Ikendola. Intindola. Get it right, George. There could be hundreds of questions. You've told us a lot about yourself over the years. You've been involved with all sorts of things. As a proud owner of a Boon-in-the-Box photo, trust me, I know. Just an idea. Have a great spring and summer in Toronto. I moved down to the Keys a year ago. Can only get you when I'm in the car. But I remain a loyal listener. Best, George. Thank you, George. But it's a bad idea. See, these people don't want it to be the Neil Rogers show. They want it to be a show about Neil Rogers. These groupies.
What a plan. Sure.
Even though George says he's a big fan but not a fanatic. I think you're a stalker, George. No, seriously, too much of that crap. Charlie B. is the guiltiest of them all. My God. All these polls. Oh, if you had a chance to sniff Neil's ass, I mean, what do you think it would smell like? Oh, God. Just on and on and on with the Neil-centric crap. A Neil Rogers trivia thing. Let's get Mike Spindell to do it. Now, there's a guy who hasn't resurfaced on the air anywhere in the last 100 years. Ernie Sochin and Mike Spindell. Those were the days. Mike would come on the air, do his trivia thing, and we'd get no calls. And he'd say, don't you want to have any fun? Don't you want to have any? They weren't having fun, Mike. They were not having fun. They were in pain. In addition to which, the average age of our listener back in those days was death plus 10, so I don't think fun was in their itinerary. I think the last nap. I was thinking about that yesterday. I mean, I'm not one of those people that dwells on death. You know, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I think. But I was thinking about when you're, for example, if you die like a slow death, not slow, painful, but just, you know it's your last days and you're laying there in bed and you're surrounded by a couple of friends, whoever.
Yeah.
And as you're about to take the last breath, what thoughts go through your mind?
Good question. I'll go ask some dead people.
Go ask some people who croaked.
That John Edwards medium guy.
Yeah, ask the people who died and then came back. You know, there's people who had like out of body experiences or whatever they call that crap.
Yeah.
All the tabloids are always running that garbage.
Right.
Inquirer. I died and then came back. I was dead for 30 minutes and I came back. I saw a big white cloud, a big white light in the sky, and yeah, a big white light, my ass. That's what it was, my ass.
Big white ass.
Big white ass. Big white pimply old ass. Oh, the fake Larry King, who really bugs the hell out of me. I think I'm going to block him, too. He's either Mr. Radio or one of those others. You were right about these fake people, man. They are so ponderous. All they care about... What was the one about the other day? Dickie Farkle, remember?
I don't know. Just all the, like, obscure radio stuff.
Obscure inside radio garbage that nobody cares about, including even the people that they're talking about.
Right.
God.
Talk about
this
an
goes
out-of-body
beyond
experience.
groupie. This is like obsessive.
I had
neurotic.
an out-of-body experience when you were reading about that.
What?
I said I had an out-of-body experience. A Dick Farkle spy report.
Yeah.
Or like a Drew Michaels.
That's what it was similar to.
Yeah.
Oh, and here's one about, you know something? Our timing was right, spot on. Subject, Mark Scheinbaum. If Jimmy is right, would love to hear you on 850 WFTL. You'd be a good lead into Joyce Kaufman. WFTL can no longer be considered the light bulb. At 50,000 watts, WFTL and its 5 sister stations can be heard through South Florida from the Keys to the Palm Beaches, even out to the Bahamas. The only problem is nobody's listening to it. They could have 50 million watts, and they still ain't got nobody listening. Joyce Kaufman, my ass. I'd be a good lead into Joyce Kaufman. Wouldn't that be great?
Oh, yeah.
That's what I've always aspired to do. 50,000 watts WFTL. James Crystal Radio. I think that's a good idea. Why don't we have a swap out?
Okay.
It'd be nice to be on a signal that somebody could actually hear. You know how they make trades in sports and the old team still continues to pay a big chunk of the salary to defray the cost that the new team can't afford to pay? Isn't that a good plan?
Sounds like a great plan. Let's start.
Okay, Norma, there you go. James Crystal Radio. It's the wave of the future. Not.
This is Mohammed David, and this portion of the Neil Rogers 12 to 1 hour is brought to you by the letter 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 slices of pizza. All for me.
Cases of swine flu in the U.S.
Oh, my God.
Only that one little dead kid who was from Mexico anyway. Not that, diminishes the fact that he died, but he was from Mexico.
Okay.
Doesn't that make you feel a little less sad?
No.
Sure it does.
It's sad when a child dies.
What?
It's sad when a child
Of course. Dies. But if he was an American, you're supposed to be if you're patriotic. Oh, that's right, I forgot. You're not.
Right.
Now, what's your story? Do you have a passport? Do you have a visa?
How many times?
Do you have a MasterCard?
I have a white card.
A what?
A white card. White people get white cards.
Oh, what the hell is that?
It's a white card, man. I can go anywhere and do anything.
If you wanted to fly to Mexico like tomorrow,
I'd have to go get a passport. It's a different form.
And a visa.
Right.
Do Americans need a visa to go to Mexico?
I don't know what they need.
At any rate. Passengers drunk, not infected by swine flu. Linthicum, Maryland. 2 men who had too much to drink caused 117 passengers on a flight from Mexico to Maryland to wait on board after landing while health authorities checked the two for symptoms of swine flu. Cases confirmed in 4 more states today.
Or brought one even back from Mexico, except for this child.
The commotion began when AirTran Flight 85 from Cancun, Mexico, radioed ahead to Baltimore Washington International Thurgood Marshall Airport that 2 passengers had nausea and fever, said airport spokesman Jonathan Dean. When it landed, the airport's fire and rescue department met it. The 2 men were isolated and examined, said David Paulson, director of communication for the Maryland Department of Health and Mental Hygiene. FAA spokesman Jim Peters said they simply had too much to drink. They did not have respiratory distress, or as they say here, respiratory, that is a symptom of swine flu. They refused treatment, and the other passengers were allowed to leave the plane after being detained less than an hour. Swine flu is said to have been a factor in more than 150 deaths. Well, we know that, in Mexico. Paulson said contact information was collected from all the passengers, and they were given fact sheets detailing what they should do if they become ill. Take a gun, put it to your head, pull the trigger, and that'll put you out of your pain. Morning Train says, you ready?
Yeah, well, you blocked him as Rooster Choo Choo, so.
He says, whoever wrote to you as Rooster Choo Choo was an imposter.
Oh, no.
You blocked me under that handle, so whoever's writing as Rooster Choo Choo is not really me. Secondly, I want to apologize to George for endangering his position with the show. I know I complained about what I perceived as a lack of effort on his part, but I never intended for him to lose his job. Besides, I only complained to you and never thought the one receiving my message was Joe Bell. Morning Train apologizes.
Yeah.
You accept his apology?
Whatever. No, whatever.
No, George does not accept your apology. He's on the verge of getting canned because of you, Rooster.
Faker, yeah, that's why.
Morning Train, you're a real pain, and I think you might be a little bit insane. Maybe he knows Barbara Bain.
Oh, damn it.
And Martin Landau. He was so great in, what was it? The Bela Lugosi movie.
Oh, Ed Wood.
Ed Wood. I got a mental block on that.
It's okay.
Johnny Depp was in it, so I should, the Wood part should be
right. Johnny
sticking
Depp
in my mind.
But Ed would.
Here's the poll. What should be off limits to comedy? This is a poll that's so bad I don't even want to read it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's bad. It's from our friend Sean in Hollywood. Sorry, Sean. I don't want to diss you. I appreciate whatever you send. But pretty weak. Even by your standards, pretty weak. I'm printing it out right now. Because I'm sure that there are a lot of people out there hanging on the edge of their seats. Don't you think that's why most people listen to the poll, to the show? See?
That's
they
right.
listen to the poll. To hear the result of our poll. And we could do a really timely poll, like, how panicky are you about the swine flu? What are you doing to protect yourselves? Stupid stuff like that, you know.
Yeah, I'm letting fewer people spit in my mouth.
Right. Staying inside with all the doors locked.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, now Justine Bateman might not feel so bad about being locked in that apartment from Deadpool. Still, nobody else saw that movie, Deadpool. I haven't had one comment on it. I mean, it's not a well-known movie, I will grant you that. And on IMDb, I think it gets like 5.5 out of 10, which isn't a really bad rating. It means it's a little above average. I thought it was okay. I watched it about 3 different times.
Okay.
What should be off limits to comedy? 479 vote. Absolutely nothing, 153. Terminally sick children, 102. Nothing as long as it's funny, 101. Child molestation, 45. The Holocaust, 21. 9/11, 16. God, 6. God.
Neil, God.
Don't tell that to George Burns. I guess it's too late.
Yeah.
Cancer patients, 6. Jesus Christ, 5. Disaster victims, 3. The royal family, 3. That really frosts my ass. Why does anybody in the U.S. give a crap about the frickin' royal family or Princess Diana?
I don't know.
Blacks, 3. AIDS, 2. Princess Diana, 2. What's that bit?
Princess Di is gone?
Is that what it is? Princess Di. There's Princess Abdullah. Prince Harry.
Short and sweet.
Princess Di is gone. Don't make fun of her.
If you want
Princess Di, we're begging, please. Paparazzi's coming after you. You're gonna crash into a wall. No more rich guys for you. Princess Di is gone.
Oh, Princess Di.
Princess Di is gone.
She's really gone.
Went into a tunnel. Hello, wall.
Now, 2 people say that Princess Di should be off limits to comedy, so let's just pretend I never played that.
Okay.
The recently deceased 2, the disabled 2, Jews 2, the president 1, gays 1, the Pope 1, O.J. killings 1, the Kennedys 1, and none for Mother Teresa. Somebody's parents are Muslims. So I guess I can play Raghead?
Please.
Although Raghead isn't just Muslims.
No, it's all inclusive.
What about Hindus?
I don't think so.
What?
They don't wear rags on their heads.
Who don't?
The Hindus.
They don't?
The Hind don't.
So in other words, when I see the Punjabi at Woodbine...
Does he have a rag on his head?
Some of them have turbans, so I know that those are the Muslims, and the ones without the turbans are the Hindus?
The turban people are the Sikhs.
The turban people are the Sikh?
Yes.
So there are no Muslims in India?
Oh, I don't know.
Sure there are.
Isn't Sikh a kind of Muslim?
I have no idea. You're asking me? You're the religion expert.
Well, I'll go look it up.
You're the religion debunker. Sikh is a Muslim? I'm sure one of our fine, astute audience members will know. But you look it up.
I am.
Nobody's seen Deadbolt. It would make me feel so much better about life in general, but there's nothing on there. There's absolutely nothing on that email thing. Neil@neilrogers.com. There's a few old poll suggestions, and if they're still sitting on there, you know how bad they must be. If they're sitting around for a couple of weeks, you know they're really, really, really bad. Now, did you look it up yet? Sikhs are Muslims?
Yeah, I don't think they are. But yeah, there are plenty of Muslims in India.
In India, of course.
But I don't think they're the turban wearing types.
What do you mean you don't think they're the turban wearing type?
Well, there's 2 types. You know, like the.
Are they the suicide bomb type?
I guess. I don't know. I'll go ask an Indian. Hey, what kind of Muslims?
In my building, man. These Muslims reproduce like field mice. So what's the verdict?
So far, not.
Not what?
Not Muslim.
Not Muslim? I've tried to explain to you and the audience over the years that the world is a battle of headgear.
Yeah.
Whoever wears the most impressive and effective headgear, that's the one that's going to wind up in heaven with the 85 virgins and all that other crap. And a lot of desserts. I wonder if there's diabetes in heaven, you think?
Of course not. You don't have a body.
What about if I farted in heaven? Do you think we can play that? I think before the break ends and I can play that, the memo will come down. Joyce decided you can't say or play anything with the word fart. Not only can't you make the sound, you can't say the word fart. Well, guess what, Joyce? Fart, 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 fart. There you go. Before the memo comes in. Had to get a few farts out of my system. You ever have that?
All the time.
12 minutes after, just this morning.
Yeah.
You're slipping, man. You're slipping.
Sorry.
You're probably under a lot of stress, a lot of pressure for George. He comes in the morning not knowing whether somebody will be there to meet him at the studio door.
Right, one day at a time.
When your good close friend Flea says, oh, guess what? I'm sitting in that chair now, Georgie boy.
Mm-hmm.
Your good close personal buddy, who yesterday sent me one of the worst, most suspicious poll suggestions in the history of the human race.
Why suspicious? Are you saying it was a setup?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what it was.
Like you'd be that stupid?
I know that I don't trust anybody at this point, even myself. And if I was down there, I'm just in the kind of mood, the way things have gone the last couple of days, just in the kind of mood to come down there and start blowing away a few people. Not want to mention any particular names, Joe, but, 12 minutes past noon at 560, WQAM Neil's half-price deals are back. And this week, tomorrow, we're going to be featuring $50 certificates for half price to Chef Pete Lombard's newest creation, Pete's Tuscan Hibachi Grill in Parkland, right next door to Pete's Cafe Bellacera. Pete's Tuscan Hibachi Grill is the most unique and family-fun restaurant anywhere, featuring the finest Italian food cooked right in front of you hibachi style. That's right, hibachi style. They offer fantastic entrees like calamari steaks. And what did you have last night?
I had this steak and shrimp. Steak, tips, and shrimp.
Sounds sensational.
It was.
Italian sausage, peppers, and onions, fresh tuna, fresh scallops, or fresh salmon with grilled portobellos. Plus sirloin steak tips, and sirloin steak tips pizzaiola with peppers, mushrooms, and onions. And Pete's Tuscan Hibachi Grill features great combos like steak tips and lobster tail, and combos of just about anything else on the menu. Pete's Tuscan Hibachi Grill, 7341 North State Road 7, just north of Hillsborough Park in Parkland, Hillsborough Boulevard in Parkland, right next door to Pete's Cafe Bellacera. Call 954-345-4999 or go to Pete'sTuscanHibachiGrill.com. Get set to buy $50 certificates at half price, just $25 tomorrow at noon on WQAM.com.
Oh, Neil.
You're listening to Neil Rogers.
Neil, good.
Oh, well, everybody's heard about the bird. Bird, bird, bird. The bird's a winner. Well, a bird, bird, bird. Bird is a winner. Well, a bird, bird, bird. Well, a bird is a winner. Well, a bird flu.
We got, how many cases did I say? 91 in the U.S. of the swine flu.
Oh, my God.
Right. And that one dead little kid. Quite frankly, I haven't heard them say anything about any of the other cases where anybody's gotten really seriously ill. Have you?
No, I've not.
I mean, they tested positive for it, but they're not getting like, oh, gee, I'm on death's door, like that. They don't know squat. But there's your president.
Add President Bush before him.
Why are you talking over him, Brian Williams? You communist, you fascist. You ist.
Smiley is host of
Get out of here.
By the time that kid grows up. And the fact that they're healthy, that doesn't help me. And in the private sector insurance system, oftentimes insurers make the same calculation. Their attitude is, well, people change jobs enough for us to pay for the preventive medicine now.
There's a guy back there doing sign language, George. Are you watching him?
Yes, I am.
Do you understand it?
They go fast and they lose me, but I can pick up like every third or fourth word.
Every 100th word, yeah. Sean says Sikhs are Hindi.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, India has a bunch of Muslims. Yeah, I knew that. I was just funning you. India's got tons of Muslims.
But what brand?
But I don't know.
You know, the bearded ones are the ones that wear the stuff on their head, as I understand.
Right, that's right. Like the cab drivers at Woodbine. The cab drivers with the turbans and the long beards. And a lot of times they're not even sitting in their cab. They're inside plunging their guts out. Now, what's the Muslim attitude about gambling?
Same
what's
as
the Orthodox Jews' attitude about gambling?
It would be the same.
It would?
I imagine, sure.
Why? Orthodox Jews are like Farbistan Muslims?
They all came from the same place. It's the same,
What do you mean it came from the same place?
Islam is a lot of ripped off, Judeo-Christianity, if you didn't know.
No
Especially
kidding.
since they're both Semites. Yeah, I knew you knew that.
Now, do they have to wear a mask when they go in the mosque?
Oh, only when there's SARS or swine flu.
Oh, everybody's wearing these stupid masks in Mexico, and some people in Texas, like the governor, who's an idiot.
You mean not so stupid masks?
What?
They're not so stupid. If you're in Mexico, you better be wearing a mask.
You don't understand. The masks don't do anything. The virus goes right through it.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah, they were talking about that last night on one of the 80 million hours of coverage. The masks are useless. If the flu virus, the swine virus, gets in the air, somebody sneezes and it's in the air and you're breathing and you're wearing one of the masks, Gornish Telfin, baby, it's not going to do a damn thing. It looks snappy, you know. It's good to protect your identity if you don't want to be all over the media.
All right.
If you don't want to be known as a dangerous Mexican. I know some dangerous Mexicans, believe me. Quite frankly, I think they're all dangerous. Barry Jackass says, hearing that Howard Davis, this full-court press that you people put on over there, it's just pathetic how they want to promote a certain guy, so they send me 85 different emails. These are all coming from across the street. All of this garbage. Jimmy Syphilis, Barry Jackass, these are all from across the street.
Yep.
Hearing that Howard Davis is very interested in Jeremy Marks' pelts for mornings, relationship with George Sedano was strained and there's been infighting. More to follow. More to follow. I'm going to get right on the edge of my seat. Barry. Jeremy Marks' pelts. Please put him on. I beg you. If you think Sid the Kid did bag numbers, which he did, you ain't seen nothing yet. They could do a number that starts with a easy. Oi Shmoy Jew is back. He just refuses to take a rest. Give it a rest, Oi Shmoy, although he does say no life at all. If Ma was still around, she could have George put to sleep and tell you he got a hold of some bad beans. Joe Bell might be listening and do it anyway to save a few bucks. Yeah, I think they're going to kill me. Remember Network in the end, Howard Beale, he wouldn't go away, so they made him go away. I think that's what they have in mind for me.
Wouldn't surprise me.
I think this meeting with Joe and then the subsequent conversation with me and Norma was intended to get me all pissed off and take a walk. I won't do it. They could come in here right now with an Uzi and blow your brains out, and as much as I love you and I appreciate everything you've done and yada, 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 I would still sit here and continue doing the show.
Well, good.
I will not walk out. They will pay me every dime remaining in this contract for the next 4 3/4 years. 4 2/3 years, whatever the hell it is. However many turds you got. Now, that would be sad. We don't want them to come in there and, kill you or kidnap you or put a mask over your face, although it couldn't hurt. In fact, maybe as a protection from management, you should come in there with a mask.
It's a good idea.
And when they come in there and say, hey, George, we're dragging you out here. Oh, I'm not George. George ain't here. George hightailed it out of here hours ago.
Right.
So the wheels are turning in management minds. The wheels are turning. What can we do? How can we make this happen? Yada, yada, yada. Because you understand that your general manager, he's like a spoiled child. He always has to get his way. You do understand that?
I guess I do.
There's the right way, there's the worldly way, and then there's the Beasley way. And they will always get their way. So how about those cheap channel cuts, huh? Even John Leave It to Beaver is out there in the street. John Levitt. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. He used to be my producer and board op when I did 8 to Midnight on WNWS, at least for part of that tenure. And at midnight after the show, we would sit around in the programming room and BS for the longest damn time. And then it took weeks before I found out that his wife was sitting in the parking lot waiting for him.
Really?
While all this conversation was going on. Uh-huh.
Huh.
And the reason being that he couldn't drive. He had some kind of suspended license. I don't know what it was.
I see.
He had something. A blast from the past. But I never knew that. And here we're talking just a lot of crap, you know. Bop, 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 bop. And she's sitting out there cooling her heels in the car, waiting for him to get his fat ass out there and go home. What do you think your wife would think about that?
She wouldn't be doing that, and I wouldn't do it.
No, she wouldn't pick you up.
And I wouldn't do it to her. She has many times. Oh, in the olden days, all the time. She used to drive me to and from work because we were both working and we only had one car.
You mean back in the salad days?
Yeah, kind of like now.
Back when the two of you didn't hate each other like poison?
I didn't say that.
Oh. Even then you did?
We do our duty.
Here's a great story. Waterford Township, Michigan. Blown away Chihuahua reunited with owners. Tinkerbell's been reunited with their owners after a 70-mile-an-hour gust of wind picked up the 6-pound Chihuahua and tossed her out of sight. That must have been on Saturday. Or was it Friday night? Friday night or Saturday. I forget which day. Or Saturday. Because it was hotter than hell during the daytime. Then we had these horrible thunderstorms with gigantic 65-mile-an-hour winds. Dorothy and Laverne Utley credit a psychic for guiding them Monday to a wooded area nearly a mile from where 8-month-old Tinkerbell had last been seen. The brown, long-haired dog was dirty and hungry, but otherwise okay. How do you like that, all you psychic skeptics like me? A psychic guided them to a wooded area, and there was the dog.
Huh.
Dirty and hungry, but otherwise okay. He got blown away. The Utleys of Rochester, Michigan, had set up an outdoor display Saturday at a flea market in Waterford Township, northwest of Detroit. Tinkerbell was standing on their platform trailer when she was swept away. Dorothy Utley tells the Detroit News that her cherished pet just went wild upon seeing her. Poor little baby. I don't like Chihuahuas, though.
No.
You think Chihuahuas have swine flu?
Let's say they do.
This Mark Scheinbaum one. This is really good. Mark Scheinbaum and Dickie Farkle.
WIOD, your Pixicado station, presents the Mark Scheinbaum Show.
Who?
Yeah.
The light bulb, baby. Oh, did they run a treasure trove of hosts through there, man? From hell. Hosts from hell. The light bulb. Including Joyce Kaufman. I wonder whatever happened to my old friend Craig Worthing. Is he still alive? Is he, Because you know how out of touch I am. I'm out of touch. What?
I'll ask Mr. Radio.
I don't even know if my relatives are still alive. Because I didn't go to Mom's funeral, you know, so now I'm on the S list. I'm sure of that.
I can hear you're all broken up about it.
No, I mean, it would be interesting. I'd like to find out. Because my mother's sisters were both like in their late 80s. I wonder if they made it to 90. That would only increase my hopes for that longevity, man. I could be on this station doing this show till I'm 95. When Joe Bell is pushing up daisies. Oh, see, I told you, don't let me mention his name. I get so depressed.
Sorry.
If you blow too much, you're in trouble.
Don't you like that low start?
Oh, yeah. Scared me.
It's a terrorist warning. So as you drive on into work, be alert. The White House says we're all doomed now. Can't be sure where they might strike next. Yeah, we're nervous wrecks because of all of the stress. Rumsfeld says we better watch out. He used a word I fear. Nuclear. It's a terrorist warning. I'm dying out here. The government says be prepared. And I'm scared. They say not if, but when now. Non-specific threats are a joke. Yeah, I think they're a hoax. They could give me a stroke. I think that I just will ignore it, yeah, and live my life. Enjoy the ride, live my life. Al-Qaeda bites, terrorists, make me sick.
12:33 at 560 WQMC. I would appreciate it much more if they would just be honest and say, you know, like when this lunch took place a couple days ago, and said to Norma Kent, well, we really would like for Neil to go away. Is there some way we can make that happen? We'd like to put some dumb sports show on there in midday. Wouldn't that be a more honest approach to do a business?
Oh, yeah.
But then again, honesty is not, that's not part and parcel of what this is all about. In fact, here's one, you'll love this, from the fake Tom Jicka. It says, just heard from Steve Lappa. He would love to hear from Norm if you're serious. He is hearing Alice is available as well. He'd love to hear from Norma. If Norma calls Steve Lappa again, I'm going to go pee on his pot. Like Herbert Hoover used to say, 2 chickens in every pot, 2 cars in every pot, and 2 chickens in every garage. I wonder if the chickens have the swine flu or the avian flu. Yoshi Schmendrick says, yesterday during the LeBastard show, he really got frustrated with all the draft talk and all these silly guests that Stu Gatz had booked. I really think Dan is trying to make the show different and maybe control the radio in South Florida like you have the last 20 to 30 years. Control the radio. Have I controlled the radio for 20 or 30 years?
That's right.
You're the only one who lasted all this time in this town. And to tell you the truth, I think Dan has enough talent to do that as well. This is also coming from across the street.
Of course.
The only reason I'm saying this is because he's trying to get away from the 24/7 same crap, different host sports talk radio, a.k.a. Joe Rose, Big O, Mad Dog, Sedano, any of them. They all say the same thing at different times of the day. That's why I listen from Neil to Neil 10 to 2, and then have an hour to kill before LeBastard at 3. Love you, Yoshi Schmendrick. Here's Andrew. 6 are not Hindus or Muslim. They're their own religion.
Right.
They are actually a blend or meld of what they think are the best aspects of Hinduism and Mohammedanism. The British had an alliance with them from 1805 to 1845, just so the 6 could deal with the northwest frontier that ended when Ranjit Singh died in 1839, and the kingdom of Lahore plunged into terror that makes I, Claudius, look like a romantic comedy. How do you like that?
All right.
Terror. Murder and bloodshed on the highway. Lots of bloodshed with all these different religions, all these different sects, all these different peoples. Got a bunch of stuff about religion in India. Although before that, here's Georgianne. Oh, here finally, Derek. Derek saw Deadbolt.
All right.
And he's right, it was a made-for-TV movie. That's why nobody saw it.
Ah.
He says it was decent. I mean, it was no There Will Be Blood, but it was okay. He says there will be no blood. 3 hours of my life I'll never get back. Thanks, Derek. There's somebody finally who thinks he saw it on TV, made-for-TV movie. See, if I would have known that. I did know it, but I forgot it. If I would have said that, it would have narrowed it down.
Mm-hmm.
People would have said, I still didn't see it, but I'll watch my TV for it. Georgianne said, I was listening to Jim the other day when he said something I've heard on your show 100 times before. I feel like a eunuch in a whorehouse. Are you not allowed to say that anymore? Nobody has told me that.
No.
Why would we not be allowed to say that?
I don't know.
It's in here somewhere. I'll find it. I got it.
I feel like a eunuch in a whorehouse.
Now, why? It says when he said it, it got dumped by Curtis. Now, how does she know that? If it got dumped, how did she hear it?
Internet.
But how does she know it got dumped on the air? She's listening on the Internet and on the over the air?
I don't know.
Maybe.
It says, damn, Joyce, is it going to get any worse? If so, come pick up my effing radio and stick it. By the way, love your show, Neil. What could possibly be wrong? I mean, maybe Curtis just overreacted.
Maybe.
Eunuch in a whorehouse? Well, what part of that is dumpable?
I don't know. House.
In A?
Yeah.
How's it going, eh? I don't know. Maybe you're just hallucinating, honey. I mean, if she was listening online, she heard it. I'm sorry, I just don't believe that there are people who are that obsessed who listen online and over the radio at the same time. Georgianne, you're a fine emailer and yada yada, but I don't know. I'm a little bit confused. Oh, look at that. Jim DeFetus says, would you rather have the Rangers still in the playoffs or die of swine flu? That's bad. No, I don't want them to die from swine flu, just some of their fans. Rangers. Not one Ranger fan today has sent an email. Not one of these big-mouth ass clowns that were talking such a big game. Rangers, when they had a 3-1 lead in the series against the Capitals. which they choked and gagged and puked and blew it and lost in 7. I think these Ricola are doing me pretty good.
Good.
Better than those other damn medicinal ones I was sucking on yesterday. That doesn't mean the last hour is going to go smoothly, you know? Because that came along yesterday out of the blue,
right.
although it was nowhere near as bad as the day before. See how progressively I'm getting any better?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and Joe, by the way, in that meeting, even though I don't want to mention his name again, he also inquired of Norma about my health, because I've, been out missing a few days lately, more than usual.
Uh-huh.
I'm so glad. I think what he's hoping is that I have, like, some terminal illness. Haven't told him about yet. Yeah, Joe, I'm going to die.
O'Neal.
Someday.
Yank it, baby.
Zimfar, master of the romantic slide whistle.
And rock legend Led Zeppelin. Together for the first time. Zimfar and Zeppelin. Schlock meets rock. The Master and the Blaster. Wait till they see the power bill for this one. The Zim and Zap World Tour. It'll take the lead out of your whistle.
16 to 1 at 560 WQAM. My close personal friend over there in Kitchener-Waterloo, Adam Oshmuck, sends me this. Thanks, Adam. 4 cases of swine flu in the Toronto area.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
Schweinhunds. Ontario now has 4 cases of swine flu, 3 in Durham region and 1 in York region, health officials confirmed today. All 4 recently traveled to
Mexico?
Good guess. And have had mild cases and since recovered. All 4 are young people in their 20s. I wonder what they look like. 1 is male, 3 are female, said a Ministry of Health official. I wonder what the guy looks like. Dr. David Williams, Ontario's acting medical officer of health, announced the cases during a press conference downtown at the Mars Center. Is that where they make the candy bars?
Maybe.
I don't like Mars bars. What's the ones that have... Almond Joy is the one with the coconut.
I think they both.
Mars bars have coconut?
One has almonds and the other one
has an almond on top.
Almond Joy.
Yeah.
Has almonds because, sometimes you feel like a nut.
Yeah, and sometimes you don't.
Right. Almond Joy's got nuts. Mounds don't.
All have mild illness, are recovering at home, do not need to be hospitalized. They experience coughs, fever, and respiratory ailments. Since this is in Ontario, I'll say it the Canadian way, respiratory. Williams would not release specific information about where exactly the 4 traveled, who they traveled with, or what they were doing in Mexico. What were you idiots doing in Mexico, huh? Besides drugs. Although Williams did say some had traveled with the same group. These are like other flu cases, he said. These are mild cases, said Williams, who added the 4 also did not need medication. Personally, I know we're going to see a lot more cases, he'd be saying. The Ontario cases put nationwide in Canada 13, but another 20 cases are currently being tested. The city of Toronto has a well-developed plan in case the current swine flu outbreak turns into a pandemic. Dr. David McCown, the city's medical officer of health, says. Part of the plan includes a stockpiling of 2 antiviral medications, Tamiflu and Relenza, to protect its own frontline healthcare providers. The city's stockpile is intended for preventive use to give people to prevent them from getting the flu, McCown said. We want our frontline healthcare providers to be on the job. Studies have shown that if taken within the first 48 hours of coming down with symptoms, Tamiflu can shorten the length of the illness. Relenza helps prevent the body cells from becoming infected. The swine flu is sensitive to both drugs, McCown said. Ba-da-beep, ba-da-boop, and it goes on and on. There have been 2 cases of the swine flu in Alberta, 4 in Nova Scotia. All the mild cases didn't require hospitalization, and British Columbia's got 3. Infectious disease experts have been predicting for days swine flu would emerge in the province. Roughly 60,000 Ontarians return from Mexico every month. What are they doing down there?
Where?
Getting drunk and laid?
In Mexico?
Doing drugs? In Mexico.
You can do that anywhere,
Yeah, that's right. Why risk your life to do those things? George will show you all the spots.
Sure. I got a spot right here.
Yeah, I think it's leprosy.
It's a soft spot.
Mm-hmm. I don't got no spot. I got a bald spot, though.
Yeah? A bald spot?
Maybe I'm going to paint my bald spot.
Pink?
Pink?
Purple?
I like the Led Zeppelin Jewish thing you just played. What was Jewish about Zimfar?
I don't know. Maybe they think that's a Jewish name.
The Led Zeppelin Jewish thing you just played? Well, good. I'm glad you liked it. Oh, Chef Sparky, this is going to be crap. Neil, curious what your reaction was or is to George putting Pharrell on the air last week. Seems like George wants the fast train out of town. By the way, doesn't Jeremy Marks Pelt work for Mad Dog? I have no idea. I don't know who he is, nor do I care. You put Pharrell on the air?
On speakerphone on my cell phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doing what?
We were talking. He was at a ball game.
And you called him or he called you?
He texted me, but I couldn't talk to him because I was on the air, so I called him back on the air.
And said,
"How you doing?" And he said, "Oh, you want to know what it was about?"
Yeah.
He was thanking me for being nice to a couple of friends of his who came to town that didn't know anybody. And so me, myself, and some friends, played hosty.
Me, myself, and I?
And some friends played hosty to them.
Anybody understand what this man's talking about?
You know, when people come from out of town, they don't know anybody, where to go or who to see or anything like that. I and friends and mutual friends took them under our wings and made sure that they had a good time.
Well, good. You're a party guy.
That's right.
You'd take him to the roller rink?
Yeah, sure. That's what we did.
No, you did not. Boy, look at the dearth of email on there all of a sudden. We were starting to get some really good fake information there about Jeremy Schmirk Pelt, Mark Van Pelt, Brad Van Pelt. I think Brad Van Pelt died from Michigan State. Remember Brad Van Pelt?
No.
You don't? You better start learning your football, mister, if you're going to stay on this station very long. That's what Joe is going to do. He's going to bring you in his office and give you a sports quiz.
Okay.
And if you get one question wrong, bye-bye. You see, the fact that he came in there that one morning and said to you, like Mr. Jokester, "You're still here?"
Yeah.
Think about that now in retrospect, in light of what you know now.
Mm-hmm.
In light of the devious plans that he has in store for you. So how do you think it's going to go down?
I don't know. Murder?
Now, who do you think they're going to kill first, you or me?
I think they'd, like to do 2 for 1.
Maybe they'll do it like Michael did in The Godfather. Take care of all family business on the same day. Baron Fitz says Sikhism is a separate religion that's more related to Hinduism. It has nothing to do with Islam. The reason they wear turbans is they never cut their hair. They never cut their hair? Oh, the roaches must love that. They never cut their hair. Do you believe that?
Yes. Captain Singh told me all about it.
And so when they take the turban off, the hair must go down to their ankles.
Very long.
So how the hell do they? What do they do? How do they get it all back up there underneath the turban?
I guess they have a system.
Because when they take a shower, on those rare monthly days when they take a shower, they must obviously have to take the turban off.
Probably put it in a bun. And then
in a bun?
And then wrap the turban around it. You
and then have it for lunch?
Very long hair and have it in a bun.
Wow. The things that the rituals that people go through, it's just astonishing to me. Religions in India. Oishmoy Jew sent this to me. Thanks, Oishmoy. India, known as the land of spirituality and philosophy, meaning hocus pocus. I told you, a lot of the Punjabi, they're very superstitious, and they put their hands over the machine. Oh, that just sends me into orbit when I see mostly women doing that. Rubbing their hands over the glass. Oh, stop smearing the glass, bitch. India was the birthplace of some religions which even exist in the world today. The most dominant religion in India today is Hinduism. About 80% of Indians are Hindus. Hinduism is a colorful religion with a vast gallery of gods and goddesses. Even...
Oh, God!
Hinduism is one of the ancient religions of the world. It's supposed to have developed about 5,000 years ago. Later on, in ancient period, and other religions developed in India. Around 500 BC, 2 other religions developed in India, namely Buddhism and Jainism. Jainism?
Jainism? Gigantism.
Gigantism, yeah. For all you John Holmes fans, there's a religion, Gigantism. He's still dead, by the way.
It's huge.
What was that sound?
KJ.
KJ is there?
Yeah.
Was he just giggling?
Yes.
Oh. What's he doing there?
He brought a bit.
Is it good?
A bit of honey. I don't know. I haven't heard it yet.
What is it? What's it about?
It's about swine flu.
It's about swine flu.
Is it about swine flu?
That's what he said.
Today, about 0.5%, 0.5% of Indians are Jains. I don't know what that is. And about 0.7% are Buddhist. Boy, that's surprising. I thought a lot more. I guess most of the Buddhists are in China, huh?
They're all over the place.
In ancient times, Jainism and especially Buddhism were very popular in India. Indians who accepted Buddhist philosophy, something, if not, not only within the Indian subcontinent, but also the kingdoms east and south of India. I can't read the word. It's chopped off. We'll have to discuss that someday about the chopped off words.
Yeah.
These three ancient religions, Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism, are seen as the molders of the Indian philosophy. And, of course, the Indian philosophy is let's kill the Pakis. In modern period, new religions are also established in India. And, of course, that philosophy isn't such a bad idea in some cases. The Pakis. One comparatively new religion in India is Sikhism. Established in the 15th century, about 2% of Indians are Sikh. About 10% of Mexicans are Sikh. There were other attempts to create new religions in India, but they did not always succeed. For example, a Mughal emperor, Akbar, who reigned between 1556 and 16-something, tried to establish a new religion, Din-e-Ilahi, but it didn't survive. There are other religious philosophers who whose believers see themselves as a separate religion, don't always get the recognition. For example, Lingayat of South India see themselves as a different religion, while others see them as a sect of Hinduism. All the Bubba-Mices all the time is what they're trying to say. Also, there are some tribal communities who demand to be recognized as a separate religion from Hinduism. In the 19th century, some Hindu reformers tried to remodel Hinduism to adjust it to the modern period. Along with the religions that developed in India, there are followers of non-Indian religions. The largest non-Indian religion is Islam, who are about 12% of India's population. Christians are more than 2% of India's population. There are also Zoroastrians, who, even though they make less than 1/100th of India's population, are known around India. There also are a few thousand Jews in India. Judaism and Christianity might have arrived in India before they arrived in Europe. There are a few thousand Jews in India.
Dared you go?
What?
I said, how's it going, eh?
How do they keep kosher?
Very careful.
I guess they hang out with the Muslims who keep halal.
Right.
Halal and kosher my ass.
I'll go get the Rebbe.
Are we getting some more insight on the... well, what is this about that he's talking about? Oh, the new Detroit. Who cares about that? Give us something more about the swine flu.
It's Scott Burrell. And when I'm up in Boca Chica slapping old women with painted lips around the pool,
I listen to the Neil Rogers 1 to 2 hour.
I listen to the Neil Rogers Fair and Balanced 1 to 2 hour.
Hey, Pharrell. What? By the way, son, I've been giving it some thought, see? What do you think it is? I knows that me and you can do much better going 6 to 10 and not at 5, a Gentile and a cranky Jew. I think we might be happy together.
I think you really got out of your mind. You gotta have your wee-wee bag strapped on too tight. No chance I'll do a show with you. I'd rather die. We'd be crappy together.
Why, I'll have you know that I'm a big Bucky Jew from Brooklyn Heights. I've been rated by everybody but you. You're not my type.
Me and Mo, that would blow. No way that if we had a fight that you'd survive. Who'd want to hear a genitile and pushy tight? That's crappy together.
So what you and me, for me, is much better 6 than 10, not 5. It's only right that I should get more sleep at night. I think we might be happy together.
Woof, 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 woof.
Happy together.
Woof, 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 woof. Would you need me better?
Well, I'm busy printing something out.
Okay.
And go ahead. I just reread something that the Social Security people sent me when I applied back a couple months ago. And the good news is you don't even have to, you remember how old people used to be waiting in the mail for their Social Security check to arrive?
Yes.
That was before we had the internets.
Right.
Now they deposit it directly to your checking account.
Right.
What do you mean right? What do you know about it?
I know some old people.
Do you?
It's South Florida here.
And they get direct deposit in their checking account?
Yes.
And the best part of it is that it's retroactive back to August of last year, I think.
All right.
So I'm going to get a nice fat, and it starts tomorrow. Oh! Won't that be great? Here's my good, close, personal friend Joe Bell says, I have the solutions for your email problem. Shut off the computer, disconnect the power cable from the back, wet your index finger, and stick it in where the power cable was. Done. Okay, right after the show, I'll give it a try, Joe. You stick your finger in your rectum, and I'll stick my finger in the socket. It's a deal. We can do it simultaneously. How's it sound, George?
Sounds great. Crunchy.
Cliff and Kendall says, oh, and it's got the pictures. Barnes & Noble acknowledged that the offensive display did, in fact, it's Obama with the monkey in Coral Gables. In fact, appeared in the window of its Coral Gables, Florida location, and a public apology has been issued. Oh, swine flu. The USDA says, please call it H1N1, not swine flu. But they're hocking the China about swine flu on.
They are also restricted until they are completely tested and we understand whether or not there's been any transmission. They are restricted in a very real sort of way, not going to public places, not going to formations, not going to the mess hall, those kind of...
Marine Corps Commandant General James Conway sounds like a real butch guy to me.
Not our first Marine has truly contracted...
Looks old and craggy, but...
Now, the acting head of the CDC says that swine flu figures are probably dated by the time that he announces them, and that's how fast things are changing. With that in mind, here's the latest breakdown on the outbreak in America. 91 confirmed cases in 10 states. More than half the known cases are in New York. Texas and California are a distant second and third. Then the Indiana case was a student at Notre Dame who got sick last week and has already recovered. Illinois has no confirmed cases yet, but a sick child in Chicago is being tested, and a school reportedly is closed there. Worldwide, Germany, Austria, Costa Rica are the latest to confirm swine flu illnesses, not counting Mexico. The total comes to 135. In Mexico, the suspected cases top 2,500, but confirmations are slow in coming. No country outside Mexico or the U.S. has reported a swine flu death. So what now? Our vaccine...
Oh, and there it is freezing up again on the cable.
The best? CNN's Colleen McEdwards.
Okay, what now? Let's all commit suicide. You first. The racist implications of inserting a book entitled Monkeys in a display devoted to Barack Obama are clear and undeniable. It's a display about all these Obama books, Hopes and Dreams, President Obama, all the books are, and Michelle. And in the middle of it is a book about monkeys with a picture of a monkey on the front.
Nice.
According to company statements, however, the incident does not reflect the attitudes of Barnes & Noble, its management, or its employees. It's believed that a customer surreptitiously replaced one of the books in the display with the offending title. How do you like that?
Mm-hmm.
Some malcontent right-wing ditto head, no doubt. Probably, what's his name that I blocked? Dana.
Oh.
Barnes & Noble would certainly not do something like this, spokesperson Mary Ellen Keating told the NAACP's The Defenders Online website. We put up a display to honor the president. Once we discovered this 4 days later, it was immediately removed. Thanks, Cliff and Kendall, for sending me that information. Picture of one thing about Bush, smirking chimp, but then again, he's a white guy.
Right.
A Klansman, a white guy. 568 votes on the poll. We'll make 600 and some odd today. That's not so bad.
All right.
We won't make 1,000, but then again, that's back when we had the audience, when Fat Chris was on the show. So when's the flea starting?
Any minute now. I don't know.
You seen him today?
Flea? Yeah.
What did he say to you?
We talked about all kinds of stuff this morning.
Did he apologize?
No. He said he had nothing to do with that.
Nothing to do with what?
What's going on?
The fact that they want to fire you and give him your job?
Right.
He has nothing to do with it?
That's what he said.
The fake Adam Kirshner, it's got Adam's picture on here that was taken obviously from Facebook or some other place, but it's the fake Adam Kirshner. You're going to WFTL now, question mark? No. Georgia Beasley seems like a fun chick. What relationship is she to the family? Is she Bruce's daughter?
Niece.
Bruce's niece. There you go, fake Adam. Yeah, I'm going to WFTL for a visit. I'm going to go hang out with Steve Lappa. James Crystal Radio, that's Norma Kent Spence, right up his alley, Norma. I'm sure it's not the only thing up his alley, but nevertheless, what do I know? Hey, Norma.
You fairy.
American agriculture officials want to change the name for the virus that's broken out in Mexico and the U.S. from the swine flu to something else. The problem, they say, is that the name swine flu suggests a problem with pork products. I had 2 bratwurst a couple nights ago, like I told you, and I didn't get nothing, except full. Boy, where can you really get good bratwurst besides Germany? The stuff that passes for bratwurst here and in the U.S., it's caca. Like even those Johnsonville brats.
Yeah.
You ever have those?
No.
You put on the grill and you get a thrill, but they're just, I don't know. They're not the spicy brats like you get in Germany. And in Berlin, like on almost every street corner, there's a vendor out there selling brats and currywurst and stuff.
Brats not to like.
Agriculture Secretary Tom Vilsack points out that the virus is not foodborne, has nothing to do with consuming pork products. He said he wants Americans and citizens of other countries to know that no American pigs have tested positive for swine flu. It's perfectly safe to eat pork from the U.S., eh? Unless you're an Orthodox Jew or a Muslim. Then you'll surely burn in hell. You'll get a fate much worse than swine flu or H1N1, I'll tell you that. Speaking Tuesday at a daily news briefing on the government's response to the outbreak, Secretary of Homeland Security Janet Napolitano repeatedly referred to the strain of influenza as H1N1, the technical name for the virus, rather than swine flu, as health officials have previously called it. Vilsack, speaking at the same news conference, said he's concerned that misunderstandings could have a negative impact on farmers who provide pork products to consumers around the world. He said the American hog industry is sound and that consumers everywhere should know that U.S. pork products are safe. Have some pork chops for dinner. Put your family on a plane and go down to Disney World, to Disney, and enjoy your life. Remember when Bush was peddling that for his brother?
Yeah.
For his fat-ass governor brother? Vilsack said if U.S. trade partners begin to shun American pork, it could do further harm to a country already struggling with a recession. We're struggling. Remember the struggling lady?
Yeah.
You're struggling. You're struggling. He said the USDA is working with farm families to make sure they continue to raise healthy pork they can sell here and around the world. There's nothing in the world better than a healthy pig. That's what Oprah tells you. She's not a pig, she's a cow.
I see.
She is. And the women of America sit glued to their TV sets, man. They're mesmerized. They hang on every word. If Oprah reads a book, they read it. They go out, they run out, and they buy 10 copies of it just to make sure.
Mm-hmm. Even if it's
if the first 9 gets stolen. What?
Even if it's a big fake book.
Right. Especially if it's a big fake book. Like if it's by her counterpart, Dr. Phil with a pill.
Dr. Pill.
The WHO says only 7 deaths are linked to swine flu, not 152. It's okay to put down that bacterial soap, it says. The WHO said, the World Health Organization, I don't understand. Didn't I ask you that before the show this morning? We were listening to the audio from CNN.
Yeah.
And she said 7 deaths. And I said, I thought it was 152 in Mexico.
And then what
Something
happened?
really stinks here, man. Oh, and I got some actual emails here from real people. Well, maybe not real people. Baron Fitz says, I have a great investment opportunity for Joe Bell. For only 10 grand, he can get under my barber shop chain opening soon in the Punjab region of India. Please forward my email address to Joe if he's interested. It's a rock-solid proposition. I wouldn't wish him on India. They already got the package to deal with.
Unbelievable.
Baby, launch a couple missiles toward a place we first name begins with O. There's one thing we all understand. Al-Qaeda won't be finished until we blow up Pakistan.
All right.
We could chase them round forever with our tanks and all our troops, but special forces are so tired of jumping through them hoops. You know we need another plan, so let's cut out all the nonsense and go blow up Pakistan. Al-Qaeda needs a nuclear tan.
Absolutely.
Why don't we stop pussyfooting and go blow up Pakistan? Boom, boom.
118 at 560 WQAM. I think that's got a good message behind it.
Does it?
Yeah, get them Pakis before they get us. Before Al-Qaeda and the Taliban take over the damn government and start firing off all the nukes. It really pukes that Pakistan's got nukes. Adam Oshmuck is back. He says not only do the Sikhs never cut their hair, they also carry a small traditional dagger. Last year, there was a big tsimus over a kid in Montreal who was banned from wearing his dagger at school. I'm pretty sure he ended up stabbing some guy or got shanked himself. What? You find that amusing?
Yeah.
Or are you going to play that KJ bit?
You want me to?
Sure.
No?
Hopefully it's like 40 minutes long.
112.
Oh, not bad. A little short. Maybe we'll play it 4 or 5 times. It's really good, 10 or 12.
There's a deadly virus that is making news. If it finds its way inside of you, you're screwed. Now what you gonna do? Swine flu could end up killing you. Don't share drinking glasses and don't share your food. And if someone happens to sneeze at you, then you might get it too. Swine flu, is it inside of you? Swine flu could be the end of you.
Wow, not too bad.
It's all right.
Is he still there, KJ?
No.
You got him out of there?
Yeah.
I mean, he's gone?
Yeah.
Did you say hi for me?
No.
Well, why not?
Because I didn't think to. Because I'm a bastard from a basket.
Your day is coming, man. That's what they tell me.
That's right.
Liz says, please don't knock Oprah's book club. She's motivated millions of American heifers to read a mother effing book. She's exposed legions of otherwise ignorant couch-sitting bovines into a world of books and literature. Bovines. I only wish some blindly worshipped jock or right-wing pundit could do the same for our male counterparts. That's my 2 cents. Love you. Kisses to George, Liz.
Thanks, Liz.
Well, yeah, she's getting people to read books. The problem is they're a bunch of lemmings. They're sheep. Well, Oprah said that. My mother used to do the same thing. Oprah said this, and Oprah said that. And I said, Elsie the Borden cow said that. That whole business about, you know what they say?
Yeah.
Who's they?
Them people over there.
All her life she kept saying that, Mom. You know the one great thing about her death?
What's that?
She doesn't have to worry about constipation ever again.
Caca.
Right. I've been taking laxatives since I was a little girl.
And still you have that attitude.
Yeah, that's what she said. Rasta Paul is back. How about some new pictures on the website, Mon? He said, sir, I haven't mailed for a while. Been in Jamaica for a few weeks. Did listen to the show on the internet. You dig? You dig. Maybe some pictures of you two working together in the control rooms would be cool. We don't work together in the control room or in any other room. Split action screenshots, something like this, Mon. Who cares about the swine flu, Mon? Talk about a diversion. Something's going on in the world right under our noses. Keep your eyes open. Let's all stick together. Neil God. Smoke one, relax your mind, says Ross DePaul, who's obviously smoked many. Too many. Way too many. You know what I mean?
No.
Remember what Nancy Reagan said, pot kills.
Mm-hmm.
We could play that, too. Haven't played that in a long, long time.
Judy Garland, pot kills. Judy Garland, Lenny Bruce, Elvis Presley. They all died while sitting on the toilet. Remember, pot kills. Stay off the pot.
Phil Latzman sent me a thing. Aren't you excited?
Okay.
Our good, close, personal buddy, Phil Latzman. If you can check out an editorial cartoon in the New York Post today depicting Obama being given the thumbs up by Karl Marx with Lenin and Mao looking on in the background. Murdoch is at it again, but still pretty funny. Just got back from Vancouver. What a wonderful place. Best to you and George, Phil. It is a wonderful place. In fact, I would highly recommend, of all the places in North America that I've been, if you've never been to Vancouver, that would be right up at the top of your list.
Okay.
I mean, you know, obviously New York, but you've been to New York.
Mm-hmm. No, I want to go to Vancouver very much.
Badly. Beautiful place. Nice people.
Yep.
Too many Chinamen, but that, you know, that's true here, too. All over the world there's too many Chinamen, even in China. I'm trying to think of it at the casino there, the River Rock Casino, just outside the city, which I went to several times. It's a neat little place. It's not bad. I'm trying to think if it was infested with a whole bunch of Chinamen like Woodbine is. Oh, Woodbine is so ethnic, man. Oh, my God. Are there any, like, white Canadian or American people in there besides me? Any? A couple?
No.
Oh, a few. Very ethnic. Not that I'm prejudiced, you understand.
Right.
I just don't like people that smell bad. And I don't like people who are playing 1 penny on the 2-cent quick hit and tying up the machine. 1 credit. For hours. Just sitting there, punching the button. 1, 2 cent, 2 cent, 2 cent. The guy with the black glove. And then the guy who pees all over himself, that old guy. They're like a team. A grandpa, grandson, F-team.
Really?
Effing up the whole deal. Well, yeah, there's only like 10 of those 2-cent machines, man. 10 or 12. And when they come there together, they tie up 2 machines for like hours. I think maybe I'll take a gun in there one of these days. I shouldn't have said that. That's bad. A stun gun. I'll taser a couple of these people. What do you say?
Okay.
Get off my machine, man. The Nasdaq's up 43 whopping points. How do you like that? A good day in the market. And that's because it's Obama's 100th day in office. No break in the outbreak. 150 plus confirmed cases worldwide. Well, what's the big deal with that? 150 plus cases confirmed worldwide. That's in addition to Mexico. And 51 in New York, but almost all of them are in that one Catholic school, that group of kids that went to Cancun for spring break.
That'll learn them.
Yeah, that'll teach them to go to Mexico. Bunch of goofballs.
Remember what I told you about?
Prepared. Now, an important question facing every American, is our food safe? You'll recall the rash of recent food recalls, some linked to salmonella poisoning. Now, swine flu. Some Mexicans blame an American-owned pig farm for the outbreak. Here's what our chief medical correspondent, Dr. Sanjay Gupta, discovered.
You go, Sanjay.
Question, we stumbled onto a controversy here. The citizens of La Gloria really believe that the pig farms in the nearby areas got so many of their citizens sick. So we decided to pay those pig farms a visit.
The industrial pig farm is huge and owned by American company Smithfield Foods. People in town say they believe this is the source of the outbreak.
We finally made our way to the hog farm. Mexican Department of...
Oh, it's freezing up again.
And the tests have come back negative.
On mine?
They simply won't let us through security. They simply won't show us the pigs.
And in a statement, Smithfield Foods says that the company, quote, has no reason to believe that the virus...
See, they're potching with it. It's a plot. It's a commie pinko plot.
Neil God.
Yeah! Ain't ready. What's up, y'all? This your boy T Mike. You see, I usually do songs with like hooks and concepts and shit, right? But that, man, I'm trying to go platinum. So I'm about to rock this. Check this out, y'all. Read a book, read a book, read a book. Read a book, read a book, read a book. Read a book, read a book, read a book. Read a book, read a book, read a book. R-E-A-D-A-B-O-O-K. 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 Not a sports page, not a magazine, but a book. Book. Yeah, not a sports page, not a magazine, but a book. Book. Yeah, not a sports page, not a magazine, but a book. Book. Yeah, not a sports page, not a magazine, but a book. Book that one. Read a book, read a book, read a book. Book. Read a book, read a book, read a book. Book. Read a book, read a book, read a book. Book. Read a book, read a book, read a book. Book. R-E-A-D-A-B-O-O-K. 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 Raise your kids, raise your kids, raise your damn kids. Raise your kids, raise your kids, raise your damn kids. Raise your kids, raise your kids, raise your damn kids. Raise your kids, raise your kids, raise your damn kids. Body needs water, so drink that shit. Body needs water, so drink that shit. Your body needs water, so drink that shit. Your body needs water, so drink that shit. Buy some lamb, buy some lamb. Spinning ribs, 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 brush your teeth, brush your teeth, brush your damn teeth. Brush your teeth, brush your teeth, brush your damn teeth. Brush your teeth, brush your teeth, brush your damn teeth. Brush your teeth, brush your teeth, brush your damn teeth. Deodorant, 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 deodorant. Toss bee stick, it's not expensive. It's toss bee stick, it's not expensive. It's toss bee stick, it's not expensive. It's toss bee stick, it's not expensive. Read a book, read a book, read 'em up. Book, read a book, read a book, read 'em up. Book, read a book, read a book, read 'em up. Book, read a book, read a book, read 'em up. Book, R-E-A-D-A-B-O-O-K.
134 at 560 WQAM. I just forwarded you an interesting email that I just received only moments ago.
Okay.
I would do a send and receive. It's worth it. The picture is worth it.
Okay.
Although we've had similar that were more impressive, but this one's interesting. Baron Fitz says, thanks for playing the live CNN with Sanjay Gupta. I just bought Smithfield bacon the other day at Winn-Dixie. Now I know it was buy one, get one free. Hey, Joe Bell wants some free bacon, he says. Come on now. Smithfield says that they regularly test their porkers and that everything is fine as swine. I mean, now did you see the picture yet?
It's opening now.
And?
Yeah. I've seen that before.
You've seen it before?
Yeah, well, similar things.
Oh, well, see, yeah, we've seen similar things. That's
People
just
send these emails all the time.
Oh.
Oh, it's an old joke. I see it.
What?
No, that's the what he wrote.
Yeah. Well, I don't care about what he wrote.
Yeah.
I just thought the picture was mildly impressive.
It's cute.
Yeah. Anyway, so this is the same guy that sent me the other list. Paulie?
Yeah.
That sent me the Jewish list. He says along the lines of Monday's list, and he's got another long list. Jewish Catholics, people born Catholic and Jewish. Many of these individuals had one Catholic parent, one Jewish parent. Other individuals on this list had two Jewish parents, but they converted to Catholicism during their life. The list of Jewish Catholics may also include people who were fully Catholic but converted religiously to Judaism. Sean Penn, I'm not going to read about which one was devout Catholic mother, not observant Jewish. I'm not going to read those.
Okay.
Fritz Lang, famous German film director. Roger Corman, Erich von Stroheim, Roman Polanski, Oliver Stone, Adam Goldberg, Barry Gifford, Fiorello LaGuardia. son of Jewish and Italian immigrants. Douglas Fairbanks, Jewish father, Catholic mother, both lapsed. Helena Bonham Carter, actress, Planet of the Apes, Fight Club. Robert Novak, oh my, is he still alive?
I guess.
Jewish convert to Catholicism, Robert Novak. Oh, thank God we got rid of him. Harrison Ford, Courtney Love, one grandparent was Jewish. Bill Maher, Jewish mother, Catholic father, he's a vegan. Oh my God, that explains a lot. Bill Maher, he's a vegan.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least he ain't going to get no pig flu.
No wonder he's pasty.
Marcel Proust, Billy Joel. Both parents are Jewish. Raised Catholic, identified himself as Catholic atheist. John von Neumann, Gabriella Mistral, J.D. Salinger, Neve Campbell, Nev. John Kerry, Nostradamus, raised Catholic. Wesley Clark, Max Jacob, Frida Kahlo, Diego Rivera, influential Mexican painter. Edgardo Mortara, Susan Jacoby, who's she?
Don't know.
Author. Gustav Mahler, Jean-Marie Lustiger, Cardinal Archbishop of Paris, ethnic Jew, born to a Polish-Jewish family, living in France, raised Catholic. Edith Stein, Uriel Acosta, Theodore Adorno, Simon Weil, Ludwig Wittgenstein, Austrian philosopher. Lindsay Vuolo, Bernard Nathanson. Never heard of most of these people, did you? No. Carl Stern, Israel Zoli, chief rabbi of Rome, converted to Catholicism. Some rabbi. Jim Croce, raised in a devout Catholic family, converted to Judaism when he married Ingrid Jacobson. Amanda Burns, Ann Mira, Irish Catholic convert to Judaism when she married Ben Stiller. Ann Mira. Remember how I told you how irritating she is?
Yes.
She still is. Arlo Guthrie, Dick Morris, former advisor to Bill Clinton and a real turncoat. Don Adams, Maxwell Smart. Dutch Schultz, Prohibition-era mobster, real name Arthur Fliegenheimer, Jewish but convert to Catholicism. Good. Franz Schraker, Harry Connick Jr., Hedy Lamarr, Herman Brock, German novelist. Hugo von Hofmannsthal, Jacques Offenbach, French composer. Jerry Orbach, actor Law and Order, Jewish father. Johann Strauss, Juliana Margulis, Kevin Kline, Marianne Faithfull, British singer and actress, Jewish convert to Catholicism at her school's request. Is Marianne Faithfull?
Not anymore, she ain't.
No, she's probably old and craggy now. Michael Bennett, Michael Landon, Jewish father, Catholic mother, baptized Catholic. Well, if he was baptized Catholic, what was the big timus they were always making about, oh, Michael Landon's Jewish. Sure.
He's Jewy.
Paulo Costanzo, Phoebe Cates. Oh, the bird would have been so impressed. Real name, Phoebe Katz. Pierre Salinger, Wolfgang Pauli. Oh, Pauli, won't see him no more. Robert De Niro, lapsed Catholic father, atheist Presbyterian raised mother, possible Jewish ancestry. Possible. And Christopher Columbus, possibly part Jewish. They didn't say which part.
You read that whole story once upon a time.
About Christopher Columbus?
Yes.
Was Jewish.
Right.
I did?
Yeah, a long time ago.
Boy, you sure got a good memory.
For what
so
it's
this is, again, it's not as interesting as the other stuff that was on there before, but it is mildly interesting and kills some great time. Thanks, Paulie.
Oh, Neil. You're listening to Neil Rogers.
Neil
Coming next year, the King of Pop, Penetrate, your hometown, touring to benefit the Cardinal Classic School for Wayward Boys. It's Michael Jackson.
You know my good lady isn't picky. I've got a very appetite.
Michael Jackson's benefit tour.
'Cause I fondled any child. It don't matter if he's black or white.
Michael Jackson. Yes, Michael performs all of his greatest hits from oldies with the Jackson 5.
They're learning the ABCs. I'm getting down on my knees, removing the dungarees. ABC side of me, baby, you and me.
That's right. From the timeless tunes of the Jackson 5 to the classic solo work, Michael Jackson's benefit tour aims to please.
The people that surround myself with are juvenile. Some call me big brother, some a pedophile. But when there's no one to defile, I just sit for a while and beat it, beat it, beat it. I beat it, beat it, beat it.
Michael Jackson.
Sometimes I'm so depressed that I just sit around soaking, waiting for a call from Macaulay Culkin.
one of the 5 lucky boys to receive backstage passes to hang out in Michael Jackson's dressing room.
Michael Jackson's benefit.
Hey, Michael.
Yes, Bobby?
Is that your real skin color?
Well, it's inside what counts. But I know a game that we can play to find out. And if you fly, you know, it's time to free Willy.
Say what you want, but you know who I give affection. They don't know how to read, but little boys give me erection.
And hear the rousing finale as Michael sings the song he wrote for the children of the world, with the Vienna Boys Choir backing him up.
I don't like girls. I like male children. They are the ones who turn me on, and hey, I hope they're willing. It's a choice I'm making. I might screw up their lives, but it's true they make the greatest slave when they're just fine.
Hear other great Michael Jackson classics, like Billy's Jeans, Do You Know How to Tell Time? And of course, Smooth Criminal. Yes, it's Michael Jackson's tour to benefit the Cardinal Clancy School for Wayward Boys. Get your tickets now. Boys under 10 admitted free when accompanied by no one.
Black, they're white, they're really, really tight. They're black, they're white, they're really, really tight.
Okay, so what is it? 1:47. Holy cow, it's almost time to get out of here.
All right.
And I haven't had a coughing or a choking or a gagging episode all day. Don't give yourself a canary now. He looked like he swallowed a canary. That's another expression.
Right.
You ever hear that one?
Sure. Like a cat that swallowed a canary or something like that?
Well, somebody who knows something but ain't saying. They look like a cat who swallowed a canary, like a whatever. Abdul says, I really don't appreciate all the rag comments, and I smell just fine, thank you. I will pay a visit to your city, and you can smell my underpants if you wish. Allah is great, Abdul. Subject, the aroma of Allah. No.
Cute.
I'll pass on that, sweetie. I can smell his underpantaloonies. No thanks. George says, this is George with a G, a regular, chronic. How will WQAM resolve the George Flea controversy? 1, Joe Bell will have Flea as a regular guest of the show. Flea will continue to do his work via BlackBerry in the background and will contribute to the show as needed. I would like that, he says. 2, Joe Bell will fire George and I will change stations immediately, if not sooner. Your friend George with a G.
Well, thanks, George.
Jim DeFetus said, now this is the kind of crap that just drives all of us up the wall. The whole staff of this show, you and me. The fake Jim DeFetus says, just on the odd chance, you know someone who remembers Max Moore, former TV anchor at WIOD decades ago, WCKT-TV? Any info? Thanks. Max Moore. Never heard of Max Moore, did you?
Nope.
And neither did anybody else. And even if somebody did, who cares? Is that of any interest to anybody?
No.
No, except Jim DeFetus. Go have a few lunches, Jim. Get out of our face. As the ragheads say, get out of my hair. That's another one. You're in my hair. Maybe that's not exactly the way it goes. You know what I mean.
Sure.
Nashville, Tennessee. The Hermitage Hotel has afternoon tea in the Grand Lobby. Down-filled duvets. I don't know how I'm saying that wrong. Fancy word for comforters?
Mm-hmm.
D-U-V-E-T-S?
Sure.
You know how you say that?
No.
A presidential suite with 2,000 square feet, a really nice toilet. So nice, in fact, it's been voted America's best restroom.
Oh!
Flush in the middle of downtown Nashville, so to speak. The luxury hotel and its ground floor men's bathroom are definitely the head, so to speak, of the class. The redoubtable restroom is Art Deco style with gleaming lime green and black leaded glass tiles, lime green fixtures, terrazzo floor, and two-seat shoeshine station. A two-seater, a twin-holer. You just can't find anything like it anywhere else, says Janet Kurtz, Director of Sales and Marketing at the hotel. The restroom won the honor in online voting sponsored by Cincinnati-based Synthes Corp., which supplies restroom hygiene products and services. The company says tens of thousands of people voted over 2 months last summer. Precise numbers are kept well private. Criteria were hygiene, style, access to the public. The highfalutin honors earned the restroom entry. America's Best Restroom Hall of Fame. Entry 2. People see it and fall in love with it, Kurt said. It has 4 stools.
Yeah.
3 urinals, 4 sinks, spotless mirrors, and a
and a what?
Sultan telephone that connects to the front desk. And, how do you put this delicately, women seem attracted to it. Lita Esquinance of Bradley County, Tennessee, guides friends to the restroom for a discreet peek just about every time she visits Nashville. One of them, Sonia Lukey, jokingly summed up her visit this discerning observation. For men, it's very stimulating. The hotel, built in 1910, renovated in 2003, has 122 guest rooms and suites. The restroom down the hall from the hotel bar and restaurant dates back to 1939. Do they leave the light on for you? Not necessarily, but the famous restroom is cleaned every hour. How do you like that? I bet it smells like lilacs. In her 6 years at the hotel, Kurtz has never used the men's restroom, but just wait. I hope they have a ladies' night sometime, she said. How do you like that?
All right.
When you can really, unlike that other restroom that we started the show with, that had the pools of urine and feces on the floor, remember?
Yeah, like ours.
Yeah. Oh, I know just the guy to go there and clean it up. God, how stupid of me. I had such a grand opening there, so to speak. A big opening, and I just passed right on it. Here's somebody with a 305 phone number, but no name. The 3 men I admire least. A rabbi, a minister, and a Catholic priest. Rabbi spelled R-A-H-B-I. R-A-H-B-I. Rabbi. Hey, Rebbe. And I couldn't let this go. Here's a picture of that Florida license plate. It says sample. S-A-M by the right arm and P-L-E by the left arm. Here's Jesus up on the cross with a schmata around his head. And this is the license plate they want to put out. It says, Jesus Christ-a-roni, do we really need this license plate? And much more considering the economy and the state budget that's in the crapper. Should tax dollars be going to pay for a crucified Jesus license plate? Ask your governor.
Gay.
Hey, Charlie.
You fairy.
Jesus Christ, my ass.
It's Dave. Oh, in Miami town at 560 WQAM.
We had a quiet revolution, but not like in the past. You have to get off your fat ass for that. Now please restore our constitution as we used to know, and give us our civil rights back. Now that we got rid of the neocon brown churches, the Democrats better sit down and get to work. And I hope it's gonna be alright. Got us puking, Republicans blue, and they made us hate it around the world. They gave us all a royal screwing like a page or road, a killed party of hypocrites that. Now get a bulldozer and abolish Gay Street. You got it with beach to make the job complete. And the best we're gonna be alright. 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 Bye, bye, bye.